and welcome to guess technically the first episode of Afternoon Discord and Delight. And I hope I said that correctly because I invented that recently. So anyway, I'd like to introduce my my lovely guest, Mike from Clobbering Times. Hello, Mike.
Oh, hello. I saw what you did there. Afternoon Discord of Delight. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on. I mean, you're kind of in a way, the reason I'm here. You invited me on your podcast before you switched to YouTube, right? You switched to YouTube officially
I will
now?
or will be. I'm sort of there, yes. After 11 years on Blog Talk Radio and 700 episodes over to YouTube, and now I'm not sure how to get started. So, but I'm on it.
I mean, guy in the chat that kicked my ass in order to get started. So maybe I will return the favor in the friendliest and kindest of ways.
Oh, we have some people in the chat there.
Yes. Speaking of, hello everyone. By the way, his YouTube channel is in my description. And
Thank you.
if my lovely Mod Purple would throw that out in the chat, I would really appreciate that. Speaking of, hello Purple, hello Robert, and Happy Dinosaur 8000. Let's see who else. Captain Trek, Chief. I keep wanting to say Chef Eddie. It's Chief Eddie. I did. Oh, man. Number 1, Chris Persia. Let's see who else is here. Crimson Mist and Loki. Darth Haster. Still hoping I'm saying that correctly. No one's corrected me yet, so I'm gonna take that as I'm doing amazing. And yep, if you don't get critique, that's all you know. Our R is looking. I don't know what that emoji is. I know I'm supposed to know. I'm supposed to know because of my age. What I'm doing with emojis, I don't. So, and I think I got everyone. And anyone else who filters into the chat, I will greet you because I'm nice.
You are. You definitely are.
I guess sometimes I am. Well, topic of discussion. I think I mentioned it last week, but just because I almost forgot about it, and let alone I'm not going to expect y'all to remember it. Movies. Last week we discussed movies that had a good beginning but screwed it all up at the end. This week we're going to discuss movies that killed their franchises. So there's a lot of those. It's really unfortunate, man.
Yes.
It is really, really unfortunate. There's some obvious ones that, and we were talking before the show actually went live, and he and I disagree on something, which is very interesting. And I love a good discussion. We disagree when Star Trek died. So
a little bit, but actually, I don't actually disagree as far as that franchise is concerned. That you're right. That's the film that killed it. So we don't agree on that technical point.
Okay.
I just say that the 09 is not Star Trek to me. It died in 05. So, but that is a franchise, whether I like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree with you that movie, and you can, if you want to, is the one that killed it. We don't have an argument.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, then never mind. Never mind.
I think, right. We were talking about two different. I was simply saying that Jar Jar Abrams is not Trek.
No, it's not.
That reboot is not Trek, and
it's Apple
it died
Store.
in 05.
Like, when the Enterprise looks like an Apple Store, I have a problem.
But for the strictest sense here, I totally agree. That film, even though they did one after it, killed it.
Star Trek Into Darkness, I think, killed Star Trek. I don't think 2009 killed it necessarily. I think it started it. Okay, so I think it, let's see, gave it a mortal. I think it gave it a critical injury, and then I think that Into Darkness was the fatality, final blow. But yeah. Oh,
Well,
hey,
look,
hello,
the
Tommy.
'09. If you're talking franchises, as much as I hate the '09 thing, made money. So I didn't even. I don't think it even. To me, it's just not Star Trek. But it made money. So if I'm being pragmatic, yes, it was successful. Then they waited 4 years. They pissed everyone off by messing with Khan and messing with the classic, and then people reacted very badly toward it. And a
Mhm.
few years later, they try again, and nobody cares.
No, I
That
mean,
franchise, yes, you're 100 spot on. We were having probably two different discussions there.
yeah, we were having two different.
Yes.
We were, and isn't that funny that that's sometimes how it goes? How
Oh,
a
yes,
disagreement is actually you talking past each other. You're not actually. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Proof
so
positive.
apparently we.
Communication's important. Sorry, I'm sorry to step on you.
No, you're fine. It's fine. Totally fine here. I mean, wait. Look at my name.
Yes,
Are
that's
we
what I'm saying. You could
expecting?
kill me in an instant. I'm scared to death for my life if I mess with you.
No, no, that's not
I
gonna
ain't
be.
getting on your bad side.
Yeah, you don't. You really, you really don't. But I warn people and they don't listen. It's all right.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Star Trek was a finisher. I think he's talking about '09 was like a finisher, only standing up to the person. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's
Into Dumbness is funnier though, because it's so unbelievably bad that if you're not laughing or crying, you're doing one or the other when you're watching it, and it is spectacularly bad in a funny, and then to me it was. I was
what
laughing.
what a waste of a perfectly good Benedict Cumberbatch role.
Great actor,
Like,
great
uh,
actor.
I give him, and I try to give a credit when it comes to actors. It's like, is it? I mean, if they act, so you can take a script that is awful and act the shit out of it, and
Yes.
make it, try to make it, you can do your best at something that you're given something awful, right? And I think that's what he did, honestly, because he acted the crap out of it. I just didn't believe it was Khan because it wasn't Khan to me. So, like, at all, I was sitting there like,
You know what's funny about that casting to me is
what?
let's leave aside, not easy for him, granted, but leave aside how much I hate our Abrams and his '09 thing. In the '09 movie, as much as I don't really like those people that much, he tried to cast everyone to look like the people that he was ripping off from the original series, but younger versions, right? So
A reboot,
after that film, after that film, though, there were people. I remember seeing some people going, "All right, look, this was fine, but don't you touch Khan, man. Don't touch him." He's like, "Oh, I would never do Khan."
Yeah, I remember that.
For years, he did that, right? So then when it came time, when we all knew he was going to do Khan, he said, instead of casting an actor that was similar to Ricardo Montalban, he knew that if he did that, everyone was going to, see, you lied, you're doing Khan. So what does he do? He casts a popular, very skinny British actor who's nothing like Ricardo Montalban to use as a red herring to say, "Oh, his name's John Harrington. He's not Khan. You guys shut up."
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was all disingenuous.
Everyone knew the second the trailer came out that was Khan. I had just started getting into just beginning, and I knew it was Khan. I was like, yeah, that's Khan. Why were they making?
He kept saying it up to the premiere. He was, "Oh no, look, it's John Harrington. It's not Khan. You nubs." And I gotta be honest with you. As much as I didn't care that much, I was going, I don't know. He's so not Khan. Maybe he's letting people think he's Khan so he can surprise people. And then I saw, the film was released like 3 weeks beforehand in Australia, and a buddy of mine who'd seen it there, a premiere, sent me and said, all that stuff we thought was really stupid about the plot and that being Khan that we thought was so dumb they would not do that. I said, yeah. Guess what?
Yeah,
they did it. It's all
their worst. That was their worst. I think, honestly, if they would have just not done that, don't do that. You will don't bring Khan into it. Like, I think that was like their worst mistake, because it is almost as if the second the movie came out, it's like they realized it. It's so late to realize your mistake in that kind of regard. But
yes, but you are absolutely spot on. That one killed it. That particular not a fake Star Trek franchise, it killed it. but it didn't stop them from trying again later, and that put the kibosh on it. Yeah.
I get where they're coming from. Like and they tried to go back to their roots, so I kind of respect the attempt to go back to their 2009 roots, because if you look at it, it's very much an Indiana Jones situation where 1 and 3 look the same, and then 2 sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Same. There's a few
Yeah.
movies that do that actually.
I actually love the Temple of Doom. I know I'm in the minority, but I do love it.
I just think it's awkwardly placed.
Yes, and it shouldn't be a prequel. It's weird.
Yeah,
Making it a prequel was really
every
strange.
time. I just watched it like last weekend.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And my dad was like, before Raiders? How can it be before Raiders? What do you do? Yeah. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, my dad just kind of offhandedly was like, "Yeah, this is prequel." I was like, "Oh yeah," and I still stand by the fact that Temple of Doom is awful because of that woman. I don't know what her name is, but I hate her. She's very irritating. You cannot take me from Marion Ravenwood to blonde bimbo Mick who gives a shit. Okay, you can't. Don't do that to me because I love Marion Ravenwood so much.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. You know, by the way, Temple of Doom is also a remake of an old film called Gunga Din with Cary Grant. It's a total remake. It's a remake, yeah.
No.
Thank you, Stephen, but I still like it. I mean, weird that way. But I don't disagree with you about David Capshaw, who later married Steven Spielberg, who plays Willie Scott in that film.
Oh, yeah, I don't know her name. She's just the annoying blonde chick.
That's good enough name for her. You've got her pegged.
Yeah, I was like,
yes.
She's like if you're just looking at her, it's just like her acting's awful in that movie. I mean, there's so many things that are classic, but
yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Short Round though.
Yes, Short Round is like my favorite. Short Round is like is basically the audience. The entire movie, he's just the audience. He's just like, "Shut up! What are you doing? Why is she here? Dr. Jones, stop! What is this?"
He was just as annoyed.
Yeah, it was like,
although I got to admit, the annoyed Indy is kind of fun to watch though. So she was there for a purpose.
Yeah, I would have loved you really wanted to get the gang back together. You should have given me a grown-up Short Round instead of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
and Kingdom of Crystal Skull. Well, actually, just chop off the aliens portion, or what they should have done is they did Ark of the Covenant, and they, if you wanted to keep going with, the religious thing, there's several other artifacts you could have done.
There's so many things
you could have done. So many interesting ones. And I'm not just talking Christian. I'm talking about other things. Right. You could have. Oh god, I would have watched the TV series about that.
Yeah, did you watch Young Indy TV series, the old one?
I didn't.
Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, really? Great show. It used to have openers at the beginning and the end of the series where a very 90-some-odd-year-old eye patch wearing Indiana Jones old man would tell a story and then would go back to his life, and it was really good. And then when they brought it back, because of Kingdom of the Crystal Numbskull, Lord George Lucas said, "Well, we don't want anyone to know whether Indy's going to die or not in this movie." So when he re-released Indiana Jones Young Indy, he cut those scenes out, unfortunately. But it was a really great show. It was brilliant in a lot of ways. Some of them were, anyway. So, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, if you ever get a chance.
All right, I'll put that on my ever-growing list of things I need to watch.
It was pretty.
All right. I love Indiana Jones. I actually have a poster of Raiders hanging up in my room right now.
Yesterday was the the 41st anniversary of the premiere of Raiders of the Lost Ark. In fact,
really,
I remember seeing it the first day. Oh, that's okay. I mean,
I have the original poster, not the one that says it's the one that says. You know what? I don't have my glasses on. Hold on.
You got Ansel Adams?
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones, the new hero. It says at the top from the creators of Jaws and Star Wars.
Is that the Ansel Adams one with the painting?
Yeah, it says it doesn't say Indiana Jones. It says Raiders at the top. Yeah, it's the original poster.
DVD and tape releases. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was the greatest. It's in my top 5 all-time favorite films. And that first day it opened,
Mhm.
I could not wait. I went back twice. Saw it the same day as Clash of the Titans by Ray Harryhausen, but Raiders was better.
Yeah. And this little fun comment from Loki. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's
KK,
great.
lovely
Thanks.
KK.
Already ruining shit before, oh, thank you, man. And Charter, her part of the movie is yeah.
Oh,
So that's why it sucks, that portion.
I'm willing to lay anything on her at this point.
No, it's like that actually just, oh, okay.
You think it was her?
Everything makes sense from that point forward. So why was she given a whole damn studio to be in charge of? If like it universally that part in Temple of Doom is like the worst part. Her part. What is it? Kate Crenshaw. I don't know, whatever.
Kate Crenshaw.
Blonde chick that irritated me.
Yes. Well, she ended up marrying Spielberg. He left Amy Irving for her, so they're accounting for taste.
Yeah, well, I mean, also learning that kind of explains a few things too. She's like one of those people that you're just like, you are totally doing the director, aren't you? You are, aren't you?
Yes.
You suck in this movie. You actually are like you're awful, and Spielberg knows what he's doing. So why are you? Oh, you're doing him back.
Well,
we have discovered. We have solved the mystery. Okay. I don't know if that's true. I might have just slandered the shit
they
out
did
of
get
her.
married. No, she left Amy Irving for her, and they are married still.
Yeah, they're still married.
I think he and Capshaw are still married. I could be wrong about that.
Been really good at it. All right.
Yeah,
anyway.
maybe she's a nice person in real life. I don't know, but
maybe.
Willie
But
Scott,
I mean,
the character she played was a total not nice.
Come on, man. Like. You are universally recognized as like the worst part. Andy.
Well, you make a good point. How do you take over from Marion Ravenwood? She's such a wonderful character and so well done in Raiders.
Maybe don't.
You don't. You probably just don't. Or put her in. How about put her in Temple of Doom? I don't know why she wasn't. She probably could have been. She didn't do a lot of things back then.
It was. Oh yeah, they are still married. Cool.
That's good.
Okay.
That's nice.
Better actor. Capshaw. Why does that last name ring a bell?
Kate Capshaw? I don't know.
No, like Capshaw. I don't know what. Anyway, so for Indiana Jones, it could. Some people see Indiana Jones is an interesting one because some people would be like, okay, so the second one, if the third one hadn't come out yet, the second one would be, oh, that killed it. That's nothing like the first one. But looking at it now, they actually won everyone back with. But it is a thing that can be done.
Well, it still did very well at the box office. I mean, and that came out at a year where it had to compete with, and I remember it was one of my favorite years of movies. Ghostbusters was in the theaters. Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock was in the theaters. Gremlins was in the theaters. That sounds
amazing.
And then Temple of Doom. I went to bed. So I lived in movie theaters many times. I saw Star Trek 15 times at the theater.
It also didn't cost you an arm and a leg to go. So
no, it was $4. It was $4. So, but amongst that competition, I'm sure Ghostbusters won the year. Temple of Doom competed, and it still did well. So.
I mean, there's lots of scenes from there that that everyone knows. Everyone knows the jumping out of the plane scene on the raft. Everyone knows the little heart scene. They all know the falling to the alligator scene and the dinner scene. There's so many classics, that scenes from that movie that it's like, okay. Can I say anything about Kingdom of the Crystal Soul? That's a classic.
What is it? You have a problem with people surviving nuclear blasts in refrigerators or something?
I have to say, I was actually one of the more enjoyable parts of the movie, even though it was really stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
it was enjoyable. It was like, man, those things are like,
wow.
Why isn't everything made out of refrigerators?
Oh, hell yeah! And not only did you survive the heat because of lead, the impact doesn't turn you into jelly. That is fantastic. I want one of those.
We have an answer.
Marion was still with her father before.
Chat
she
knows
went-
everything.
No, that's true. He's right. That's absolutely right. I was simply saying you didn't have to set it in 35. There's no reason,
Yeah.
no rule
Yeah.
that says they had to set it there. They just, it could be Spielberg just wanted to put Kate in the movie. I don't know why, but setting it in 35 never made sense to me. He's absolutely right from a standpoint. It was set in 35, but that doesn't mean they couldn't have gotten Marion and made the movie take place after Raiders. I don't know why wouldn't they. So it was a weird thing, and I've never heard it explained why he did that.
It's almost like it. The problem is, right? Is like I'm thinking about it, but it's like even if you take her out of the movie, it's almost like now the movie's missing something. And I don't think it would be, it's almost like, it's like I love to hate her. It's like I kind of love to hate her. So it's like almost as if I don't want to see her leave the balloon. It's like, oh, she's awful. But damn it. God,
look at it this way. How about she's there to be in other words, sometimes characters are written, they need to be annoying for you to move your story. I mean, Marion was a contrast to Indy and fought with him. Maybe instead of having someone to oppose him in a strong way, maybe annoying Indy's part of their idea for the story. Again, I'm stretching here, but she was annoying, and it did result in some funny but some dumb over the top humor as well.
Yeah, so it's like I go back and forth on it. It's like, because now I'm trying to think, it's like, oh, if I get rid of, the movie's better, then I'm just like, yeah, but like half of my enjoyment is hating on that character the whole movie. Like, it's funny, it's just so, I don't know. It's kind of like The Room with
the great Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, with Tommy Wiseau. It's like, yeah, I could fix this, but why would I? It's kind of enjoyable as it is, So,
yeah.
But all right, yeah. So it's like Indiana Jones is one of those franchises where if you can come back from people not enjoying the movie that you come up with, right? It's like all you have to do is do okay. So 1, phenomenal. 2.
There.
And then 3 is also amazing.
I love 3.
And
some don't.
If you those 3, it's like 3 is like,
I love it.
If people would have killed off the franchise, that's why I'm always willing to give that second chance, right? It's like, oh, you gave me an awful movie. See what you can do with that and see if you can bring it back. Because Indiana Jones is a great example that you can win back the fans if you, try hard enough.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So, oh, I didn't know this. Hold on a second. Wait, I'm going to read this one. Hold on. So, one comment at a time. Raiders was supposed to be a one-off. Spielberg wanted to make Temple as a start. Okay. This is why he's more rogue and treasure hunter, and Temple took him learning about the stones.
Very good. Very good. I mean, that could well be. I mean, like I say, he probably read that somewhere. It's probably true. So, yeah.
Lucas was involved in Temple so he could explain the change. That could be it. Yeah. I forget, for some reason, I forget Lucas was involved. I don't know why. Like, I literally have something on my wall that tells me he clearly was. But it's, interesting.
I have a good friend who has studied Temple of Doom to the point of you would not believe. He does convention panels on it, videos on it, and everything. And he breaks it down, every single thing you've ever wanted to know about the film. I'll tell you about it later. He does a wonderful video about it, and he's done convention panels about it, about Temple of Doom. So he actually loves it more than most people. So I mean, and he's the one where I learned, for example, that it is a remake of Gunga Din. So.
All right. I have to send me that video later so I can watch it. But we shall move on to the next flight because there are so many that I can't. I have 2 that I really want to get to because that I absolutely could plan on for hours about how awful they are. But she brings up a good point.
Oh boy, does she ever.
We haven't.
That's a tough one.
I have trouble watching that movie.
It is trouble. That movie is trouble.
I can't watch it. but I had trouble watching it because every time I get to emo dance party walking down the block, I cringe so hard that I like fold in half and I have to pause and then I forget that I'm watching the movie. It is something
mind-boggling.
Yes, exactly. I see that's how you.
It's Sam Raimi. I love him, but I do not. I mean, he got messed with big time by the studio for that film and got screwed around with, and it was a shame the way it went. There was a lot of cutthroat stuff going on. However, nothing you can, and I excuse him on a lot of things, but you can even excuse him for not making a very good film. In this case, a bad one. But you can't excuse him for that scene that you're talking about. It is, what were you thinking doing that?
That looks like a blooper. I'm not kidding. It looks like a blooper, but it's like, oh, what are you trying to convey? No, I'm serious. What are you doing? No, really, like what? Because there's a lot of things that had to happen in order for that to get to our, to the screen that I'm watching it on right now. So how on earth did you manage to greenlight all the way through? I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea. It's just like that. Cut it from the movie, and it's better.
Yes.
I have to admit, and I've said this before. I really only know I know Marvel way better when we start talking about MCU. I was never really into Spider-Man. That really wasn't my thing. Like I grew up on DC for the most part. Actually, that's what I grew up with. I watched a little bit. There's a show. It's funny because Gary actually mentioned it last night. Iron Man Armored Adventures. When I watched that was kind of, but it's like I get the timeline in my brain a little mixed. I don't know if I watched it before the MCU or after. I might have watched it after, but that was like growing up. It was all DC. I didn't have I really didn't know Marvel that much. I don't know. I just didn't. And so Spider-Man, I'm really not strong in that, and I'm really like I
He's one of my favorite characters, and I've loved him since I was a kid, and I've been big in his comics, and his history. So that movie, man, and I like his first two films, but I'm one of those hardcore Spidey fans that has problems with those, even though I like them. Raimi has always had a propensity towards camp, though, and the way they chopped up the Venom. I'm not a big Venom fan. Most Spider-Man fans love Venom. I didn't like him that much, but they really just totally misused Venom. Sandman's fantastic in the film, and the casting and the way he looks and that is great. Visually, he's stunning. It was just incredible. I'm with you. You cut that really bad scene out. You still have a hackneyed film, but a less of a joke of a film, but still a messed up film.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've watched it, and it's one of those. Okay, so yeah, exactly. It's one of those where I just it was bad, but it wasn't bad enough for me to hate it. Now there are two movies I'm going to talk about today that I hate and I can remember pretty well. Specifically one, which I do to this day will say it is the worst movie I have ever seen in my life because of how it made me feel. But I don't really. I remember it a little bit, and it's like I remember it being bad, but I don't really. See, that's the thing. If I didn't have that real big emotional connection because I've never really been into Spider-Man. I really haven't. So that's the thing for me, at least.
Well, that factors in for sure.
Yeah, if there's that emotion, especially if it makes you mad, you will remember it more. But that movie didn't make me mad. I was just kind of like,
oh, I walked out steaming, man. I was not happy.
It's
yeah,
that's interesting because
I'll totally agree with Jeff Zilla on that one. But not shaming. As Tim Burton used to do it, they all had this dumb propensity for killing villains. I'm like, did you guys ever read comics?
Don't do that. I mean, okay. You know what? I talked about it last time. I'm going to talk about it again. Loki is the best MCU villain because he didn't die until technically he's not still. You know what? I can't even say that. You didn't kill him after the first movie.
Right.
You let him develop. That's what. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of times you can't develop a character like that when you're playing. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. Let me walk that statement back because I'm gonna regret saying that and have it posted everywhere. You can have fully developed characters in one movie.
Yes.
But I appreciate it when you don't kill them all the villains off. I mean, okay. There are no villains that are still alive, okay, in the MCU.
It's crazy. I agree.
Besides an alternate timeline Loki. And can we even say that he's still alive?
I can name one, but they left. They didn't use him. The leader.
Right, there's no one there. What? What do you mean the leader? Hold on.
Did you see the film The Incredible Hulk?
The one with that's the one that everyone forgets is.
Yeah, the Edward Norton one.
No, I never watched that. Technically, the beginning. Yeah, I
Hulk's main villain in the comic books is called the Leader. In that film, they got a really good actor, and they even gave him a slightly origin. It was tangent to the entire film, but it was there. And you're like, wow, the Leader's going to be amazing. And he's such a the perfect actor for him. They never brought him back. So they've either killed villains or squandered them and didn't use them well.
That is true. Yeah. But anyway.
Yes,
off topic. But no, it's fine. It's just like you had a point. No, you had a point. You totally had a point about the fact that that is an issue. And it's kind of unfortunate, It's kind of nice to have a villain that's kind of always in the background, and I think they did Thanos really well until Endgame, and they screwed him up. So hold on that.
Big time. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I read it about Endgame long enough last time. I really don't want to go on that again. Every time I think, the more you think about that movie, I think the worse it gets.
That's one that does not stand up to the thought test, does it? Yeah. The emotions side, and then your brain turns on. You go, wait a minute, Russo brothers.
My emotions. I was literally exhausted. I felt like I had done like an 8-hour workout because I was so emotionally and physically drained after that movie. And then like the day after, I think I saw, whose video did I see? I think it was Odin's movie blog. I think who I saw. I think he was the one who did it. I think he's the first one I saw who was like, yeah, Endgame isn't as good as y'all are saying that it is. I hate to break this to you. And I was just like, oh, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, you're right. Oh. Yes. And he got a lot of hate for that. But no, I agree with him. It really wasn't. That was I think again, once you get away from it emotionally, kind of like The Force Awakens in a way, kind of like you get away from it and then you're just like, okay, so the emotional value is gone. So what do we have left here? Oh,
I hated it from the beginning, but you're totally right. Most people took a while on that one. Yeah, you're right. Chief Zilla made me laugh with something he put in there. He said, "You're absolutely right. We never found out what happened to the Zur from Last Starfighter." That's obscure, buddy. I love it.
Oh, okay. I
not seen that one. You ever get a chance?
No, it's almost becoming a meme about how much I haven't seen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But hey, I have seen almost every. I could claim at one point in my life that I'd seen pretty much every single horror movie on Netflix, good and bad. So yeah, that's, I don't know if that's bragging rights. I can claim it. That's why I said it. It's not really bragging, but it's now I did not say I finished all of them. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to walk away from a movie. It does, because I wanted to see what happens. I've watched some really awful things just because I needed to see it through to the end. But yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna move on and kind of brought up Force Awakens, so let's go ahead and
Go
let's
for
go
it.
ahead and
You're the captain here. You make the decisions. Go for it.
yes,
I'm with you, captain, all the way. Make the decisions.
we will do that. We will be that is a bit that the Saturday streams are going to be more topics like this, and then my Wednesday streams are going to be more centered around a like a thing that's happening in pop culture right then. But I think stream, so many people do cover what's happening like right now in pop culture that it's like if I'm doing 2 streams a week, it doesn't really make sense for me to do 2 streams about that. So, because then I'm just repeating myself, and that's kind of annoying. So like
the topic helps you focus, by the way, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, no, I always I have to have a topic. I have to have a topic. I'm just gonna put it that way.
Because I do a lot of free flow stuff, and we'll just meander. I'm like, dude, when I'm sitting with one of my buddies doing the show, I'm like, dude, did we even cover anything good tonight? And everyone's, no, we sound like a couple of jackasses just jumping all over the place. Let's do a topic next time. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to have structure if you're gonna have me talk for hours. So, and I can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. But I do need some structure. So speaking of structure, we're going to continue on, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about this because
go for it.
Hold on. Yes, big yes. Underrated as hell movie. Event Horizon. I really like it. So we're gonna end. We're just gonna anyway. Moving on. Saw that in the chat, and I had to give it a shout out. So, Star Wars.
Yes.
I don't hate the prequels.
Me either. Surprise, we're on the same page. I don't either.
Yeah, I don't hate the prequels. I know
I'm supposed to hate it, but I don't. I like it.
I grew up when those were coming out. I remember when Revenge of the Sith came out because my parents went to go see it, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for them to come back because I wanted to know if I could go watch it. I wanted to know if we could go see it, and they were like, "No, you're too young. You can't go see it." Oh, boo. Yeah, so it's like growing up while that was happening was interesting. Yeah, I'll tell you what, very interesting. Being introduced to the OT of VHS before pre-special edition.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I grew up with. Star Wars.
Good.
And then I grew up like young, very young, grew up when the prequels were coming out. And then in when did Force Awakens come out?
That would be 2015. December, was it 15th or 19th?
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, so that was right. So then when I was an adult at that point, a young adult, still am a young adult. It's very hard to describe. When I was in college, it's hard to categorize my life sometimes. When I was in college is when the sequels came out. Until last year, which is when Rise of Skywalker came out. So, like I said, very interesting experience growing up, having that. I don't think Revenge of the Sith is solid. I think there is. I actually just before the stream today, I was watching or listening to a Mahler stream. It's called EFAP. Anyone who's heard me talk about it, yes.
Oh yeah.
They were covering this.
Mahler.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely love him. And they were covering. It was a more recent one where they were covering this guy that was saying that the prequels were worse than the sequels, which I think is objectively incorrect in every way, shape, and form.
No way.
Exactly, but what's interesting about Star Wars is people will say that the prequels killed it. It's like, I don't think so. I think maybe at the time, I think it's another like kind of Indiana Jones situation where it's like, ooh, Temple of Doom, not so great. What they could have done is they could have had their Last Crusade, Instead, what they did was they kept giving us Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but worse, for like 3 movies. if we're, trying to put it's like, stop, please stop. No, stop. Like, oh, I like that it's back. Oh, it's back. Oh, stop, please. You're just, what are you doing? Stop it, So I think we can universally, I don't know. Can we universally say The Last Jedi killed Star Wars? Yeah. Can we all just say that? Can we just say that?
On a personal level, for me, on a personal level, that's one of the worst movies ever made. But I hate Force Awakens, so to me, none of them matter. But that's selfishness and personal. I totally agree with you. In other words, because whether I hate Force Awakens, not irrelevant. If you're being pragmatic, it made a lot of money, although merchandise sales were starting to suffer. But you're absolutely right. Last Jedi took a big old lightsaber and stuck it right into the heart of what was left. Any chance that sequel franchise had to flourish or at least sustain itself? Yes, no question about it.
Yeah, it's another. You know what? Actually, I was comparing it to Indiana. It's not that. It's literally just the new Star Treks. That's literally what it is. It's just okay. So the first one was kind of like, I mean, there was a couple good things in it. There's a few good things. I'll never forgive you for killing Han Solo like that. That was just, I will never forgive you for what you did to that character. But I just won't. I won't do it. That was awful.
I hate it so much.
It is, no. See, this is where I disagree with you. I think it's an insult to New Hope to call it a copy and paste because it was an attempt.
I see what he's saying,
that
but
failed. It was like I don't know. We would everyone. I think everyone. And they actually mentioned this on the video. On the AFAT video. If it was just a copy and paste of A New Hope, but with new characters and new things, I don't think we would be complaining about it as much.
Not as much. No, if it wouldn't have destroyed a beloved character like Han Solo. New Hope, which I hate saying because it was called Star Wars when I was a kid. With New Hope, though, just for communication's sake, yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in the film, but it works. And after that, you don't have to see, Chewbacca take a spear in the face or something. You don't have to see another beloved character die. You get one that was set up to sacrifice. All you get with, we were promised with these horrible sequels, that we were getting the Beatles back together. We were going to get to see our beloved threesome in particular, our beloved characters together. And then we were totally cheated out of that by Jar Jar. It was Kathleen Kennedy, then later Ruin Johnson, all that stuff. We were cheated out of that. And so that's why it's such a horrible, repugnant film to me. There's nothing good in that movie to me, Force Awakens. Although, again, I do admit, cinematically speaking, Last Jedi is even worse. And I got to admit, that was an accomplishment because I didn't think you could get worse.
I think Last Jedi is definitely the end of darkness. What's funny is that in the new Star Trek trilogy, is I think Beyond actually kind of tried to bring it back, whereas Rise of Skywalker made it worse. Actually, it just. I've yet to see the movie Rise of Skywalker. I have yet to see it, but I have seen so many. Oh, I was retweeting spoilers on Twitter. I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. Everyone, here go. Yeah, that was just like, I don't care. I'm not gonna watch this, and I'm sure.
Download. I didn't go to the theater, so.
I've yet to see it, so.
Don't.
It's funny because it's like some people will argue, and I think they're more like TLJ defenders, which again, you can like the movie. Like I love all the Saw movies. I do. I adore those movies.
I hate you.
But I can admit that they're awful, okay? Like, I can admit that they're bad, but I love them.
Everyone can like what they like. Just don't get mad if someone doesn't like it. That's all anyone ever really asks. Like, look, if someone hates it, you care.
And don't tell me it's objectively good because it's not.
Oh, that term. Oh, Jesus.
Don't tell me something is objectively good when it's very clearly proven that it's objectively not. And I mean, like plot points, and I'm just taking things from the movie, and actually, like, just on objective level. I don't know how else to put it. It's just like objectively, it's a bad movie. Sorry. I hate.
Yeah.
If
But
you're emotionally, subjectively, you know,
right.
attached to it and you enjoy it, that's cool. I don't care. That's fine.
Sure. Even if I really, really hate it, and I admit there's a childish aspect to me where there's a movie that I truly have it in for, and anyone liking it goes, "Good God, why do you like that?" But of course, my better angels will take them and go, "People can like
Mhm.
whatever the hell they want to like."
Yeah.
I mean, if they're a friend, you can tease them about it. You can mess with them. You can have a little, you can argue back and forth and bust each other's chops. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, look, like what you want to like. And I can't believe you said at the end of the day, I hate myself even more now. But yeah.
It's all right. So, yeah. But like, hold on. TLJ defenders will probably say that Rise Skywalker killed it.
I tell you what, it's not a. I mean, they're both pretty bad, so it's
Yeah,
kind of.
how was it
Yeah.
described? It was described to me as, okay, TLJ is maliciously bad, and Rise
Yeah.
of Skywalker is incompetently bad. I think is how it was described to me. It was
Good
like,
point.
yeah, it's like TLJ, there's malicious intent behind it. Whereas Rise of Skywalker, no, I think they were trying. And I really do. I really think they tried. But it was like there was no way this movie was going to be good. I just don't think you could have made that movie good. I really don't.
It
I
was in a pretty big
really
hole.
don't think.
You're right. It was in a pretty big hole. And much as I hate
Mhm.
Jar Jar Abrams, even I will say, look, I think he's
Yeah,
garbage anyway. I think he's a terrible director. So, but even if I thought he was an okay director, I'd say, I don't care how good you are. You're really not going to dig us out of, unless you come on and say, hey, you know that movie Last Jedi? Hey,
you'd
it didn't happen.
yeah, you'd have to cut it out.
Yeah.
You would have to. Or what you'd have to do is you just have to axe the whole thing being a trilogy, and you'd have to make like 2 or 3 more movies in order to like, because there is so, oh my god,
You're right. They
there is
shot themselves in
so
the
much.
foot.
I don't care about these characters. I don't care what
Yeah.
they're doing. I don't care. I don't even know what their motivations are. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's a shame.
I I
It's sad.
I can't tell you what their whole thing is,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just like it had potential. Let me tell you something. I hate what they did to Finn more than anything else with the sequel characters.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Obviously, like what they did to the original characters is, in my opinion, worse. But I thought Finn was the main character, and I was very confused when I found out he wasn't, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, usually the first character we see, generally speaking, is the character that is the main character, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you anything about Rey.
No.
Really. I really can't tell you anything about her.
She's just a cipher of Luke, and that's all. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
Finn had
yeah,
he's the better concept of character. It could have been the
exactly.
potential was there, and then what do? You make him the janitor. The janitor thing almost made me walk out of the theater. I gotta be
And
honest.
the
Like,
comic
are you
relief,
kidding me?
and the character that shouts names of people, it's awful. It's just like, oh my god, like this was like a really interesting idea, because up until Force Awakens, we were all like, the stormtroopers are clones. Yeah, yeah, that was introduced,
Originally, yes.
at least to me. At least to me,
Originally,
because yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm saying yes. You're right. They were clones originally, but later
Mhm.
there was. I mean, if you count things like the EU, I'm sorry that doesn't exist, does it? In
No,
other
we can't
things,
count the EU,
yeah.
unfortunately.
But man,
Um,
a rogue stormtrooper, how cool an idea is that? Which was
yeah.
used well in a great Timothy Zahn novel I recommend called Allegiance.
Mhm.
Of five rogue stormtroopers. Great book, takes place in between. I hate it makes me say it. New Hope and Empire, with a great book. So yeah,
Mhm.
great idea. But guess what?
Exactly. And it sucks. It sucks that that's what they did. Because okay, if you had you had all the clones, well, he's clearly not a clone. clearly not a clone. And so, and then you introduce, Phasma, which, wow, wasted. This is a cool ass character. You got a, really cool ass actress to do it. And then you're just like, yeah, just, whatever.
Total waste.
Really awesome
waste.
idea. But
It's sad.
Really?
Very sad.
Yeah.
Now what's the one that a movie you really hate? Did you want to save that for later?
I can talk about it now because I can talk about that.
I was curious about which one. I think you may have mentioned it before, but
I have definitely mentioned this before. I hate with a burning passion more than any other movie on this planet. I hate The Dark Knight Rises.
You're not going to get an argument out of me.
I'll get an argument out of Jeremy for Geeks and Gamers. I almost unsubscribed from him when I heard that.
I call it The Dark Knight Retire. I call it The Dark Knight Retires, by the way. Because it retires, but go ahead.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
That was my TLJ. I know a lot of people. When I walked out of the theater, I really didn't hate TLJ at first. But when I walked out of the theater with Dark Knight Rises, I was so angry, my hands were shaking. I was literally shaking from being so angry. I went and I saw it. The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. Mm-hmm. So imagine, the disappointment level. I mean, it was just like from the beginning, that movie was awful.
Agreed.
And I really don't like Catwoman as a character. I don't know why. I have always not liked her. I don't know why. There are a couple exceptions to my rule. Michelle Pfeiffer being one of them. Yes. But I really don't like her as a character. She just kind of irritates me, and I don't know why. I can't. I've tried to figure it out. Tried to figure it out for years. I can't figure it out. And even me hating that character that much, that was a disservice. That was a disservice to that character. Holy hell, Jesus Christ! That movie killed everything. And I understand, I really do understand that they were put in an awkward position. Heath Ledger's death changed everything that the third movie was going to be. The third movie, if I remember correctly, now I could be wrong, so let me know. Third movie was supposed to be centered around Arkham Asylum, and the Joker was supposed to be in it. It was going to introduce all these, all the villains and whatnot, and it was supposed to, kind of similar to those, what is it? Those Arkham Asylum video games? Kind of similar to that. It was supposed to be in Arkham Asylum, though. So Heath Ledger's death, they kind of rewrote it all, but I don't think that's an excuse. You could have had him trapped in Arkham Asylum, and the Joker got out. And so that was the explanation as to why he's not there. And you didn't have to have him during the entire movie. And you could have just had it where, clearly his little thing, his little room. I don't know. I don't really visit that many hospitals. It's just, and it would be empty, so that he was already out. I don't know. I don't think that you had to scrap that idea. Maybe I hold up before I get more into this. Hi, Pudgy. Hello, Pudgy.
Well, I totally agree with you about Rises.
Ambassador, why must you do this to me? My dude, why must you do this to me? He also likes Mummy 3, which is my second one that I hate. My dude, why must you hurt me? Jesus.
You're off.
Oh, the pain. Oh, God. Oh,
you're brutal.
Oh, God.
Why would you do such a thing, Ambassador?
Well, it's just they set Bruce Wayne up as supposedly I think it was based off a comic book, and I think they butchered that on hell. It was Dark Knight Returns. Is that what they're supposed to be based off of?
Well, no, the old Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller was not really touched on that much. There was a couple comics called Batman. There's a No Man's Land was a series that was similar to that, and a couple of other things. Nightfall, a couple of they borrowed from some sources of old Batman stories.
All right,
What
I wasn't
I
sure.
you got off on the wrong foot with me when you start out in the film and it's 8 years later, and he quit.
He quit
And when
because of Rachel. That's why he quit, not because he was injured.
What really sucks is when you're a ridiculous geek and you think about dumb stuff sometimes like this, you go, wait a minute. So what you're saying is he was really only Batman for like a year and a half. If you tally up Batman Begins and Dark Knight, which I like him. Again, I'm not big on Nolan's interpretation, but I like those movies. If you tally up that, what, a year, 2, maybe was he Batman, and he quit for 8 years? That's why I call it The Dark Knight Retires. And then you tally up all the Batman scenes in this film, and they say it's like about 20-something minutes of a 5-hour movie. I know it's not 5, it just feels like 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's dull, it's turgid, it's boring as hell, and it just does not treat the character with any respect whatsoever.
There's no rising. And hold on, I wanted to address this real quick.
Rising.
You can like it. I was teasing you, Ambassador. Like, I'm teasing you. Like, I have already admitted to loving every single Saw movie that's come out. All of them. Every single one of them, I absolutely adore. Like, I know they're awful, but I love them to death. And I have been teased because they're basically the same movie over and over and over again. Especially when you get to the later ones. But it's okay. Like I'm totally fine with you liking them. I'm just messing with you.
It's all just fun, man.
I'm just teasing you, dude. You're good.
It's cool. Like what you like. It's just busting your chops, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, we're good. You're fine, dude.
I told you some of the movies I like. You'd laugh at me, buddy. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we all like movies that people tell us are really bad, and it's fine. I don't know. I'm totally cool with that.
We did it one time called Guilty Pleasures. Movies that you know people hate that you kind of like. Everyone has one or 3.
Anyway, I just wanted to address it. No, I'm just messing with you, man. Totally cool. Sure. But I am about to awful. So
go for it. Take it on.
The fact that Batman has retired, not because of his injury, but because this chick. This woman, I know it's a childhood friend, like I get it, but really Rachel, like, okay, if that was what was going to make him quit, I think there were several other things that would have made him quit. That's the thing about Batman is he can, Bruce, he's very, very, he's very resilient. Okay, he has to be. And for him to quit over that, it was awful. It really was. And also the fact that you telling me that he's still injured 8 years later. Bruce Wayne, really, billionaire Bruce Wayne hasn't gone to the best healthcare in the entire world and gotten all that fixed. Really.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Billionaire. He's a billionaire.
Do you understand the concept of $1 billion? Because it's a lot.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that would cover any hospital bill.
Plus, he's afraid of Dr. Fate. He can go seek out some of his magic superheroes. I'm just kidding. They know what the superheroes are. I'm just being a geek. Sorry.
It's like it's just like, and the movie just starts devolving real hard, real fast. The fact that the fact that Catwoman was able to sneak into his bedroom, really, Batman's bedroom, and grab the pearls from the safe.
Yeah.
That his mom wore when she was dead, when she died. That night she died. You just have it in a safe in your bedroom. Those wouldn't be, I don't know, in a place of, honor. I don't know. That's like a huge reminder of a moment that happened. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird place to have them. It's another weird place. Why? How was she able to? Oh my God! I've only seen that movie one time, but so if I get something wrong,
me too,
because I refuse to watch that movie. Whenever my parents had it on, and I come downstairs or just came into the living room and my parents had it on, I would walk out. Nope. Let me know when you're done watching it, because nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not watching. I refuse to give any of my finite amount of time on this planet to that movie anymore.
I don't blame you. I hate
Let's see what else happened to that movie. There's so much. There's like 3 hours. It's like 3 hours of awful.
Bane is embarrassing, and I've never been a big Bane guy necessarily, but
The memes that came out of it was great. But other than that,
Harry's Bane character, you're so sick.
oh, the darkness.
Even more
born in the darkness. Molded by it.
total misuse of Bane, right? Terrible use of him. Nothing like the comic, of course. He's just not
Nothing like
not
anything.
threatening. Yeah, he's terrible.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Talia al Ghul's terrible in it too. They don't. I just the whole damn thing.
Yeah, like, I'm just thinking of highlights. Oh, the entire Gotham City police force goes underground.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's still really good in it, but he's always good. So
Yeah, he is. It was like, oh,
it's really a Gordon movie. I mean, to be honest with you,
yeah,
he's more than I think he's in it more than Batman.
yeah. What is it? Gordon Levitt. What's his name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
That's the only way they try to
Robin.
make him Robin.
Robin. Oh, my name's Robin. Not
God.
Dick Grayson or I don't know
Yes.
anyone else that would be a Robin. No, my first name's Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Oh, please tell me. I fucking saw that.
Look, Nolan had checked out by then. I'm not sure he cared that much. He was getting money. I get a lot of people really think he's a great filmmaker. He's done some stuff I like.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I love Dark Knight. Inception's pretty good. Batman Begins is pretty good too. Let's see. I thought his take on Scarecrow was pretty amazing, actually.
I like Batman Begins. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. I think Dunkirk was boring. I saw that in the theaters, and I was just kind of like, am I missing something? I keep being told this is a great movie. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't see it.
I did not see that, but yeah, but look, Rises. I don't know, man. It's just bored. It was boring. Call me crazy, but I want to see a film about Batman.
Well,
not about Bruce Wayne being a crybaby for 8 years, and a movie that hardly involves Batman.
Dark Knight Rises. I distinctly remember this because when he got out of the pit, he broke his back, and then like 2 weeks later got out of the pit. Was that supposed to be the rising part? Because like he didn't rise that whole movie. I'm pretty sure he destroyed the character. Yeah.
I think so. I think that's what they're metaphorically going for, and I agree with what RR said. Batman's never supposed to have a happy ending.
No, he's a tragic character. Yeah.
I mean, movies. When we talked about that, we touched on it earlier, where how they always kill villains and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They never think ahead. Like even in Tim Burton's first '89 Batman movie, which some like a lot, and Nicholson's really good in that. What do? You kill the Joker. No, the Joker's supposed to fall into the river somewhere.
I forgot about that.
Later, You're not supposed to kill your villains, and your hero stays a hero at the end. I know because superheroes are fantasy characters, even Batman. I have a problem with some of the stuff because when you get too realistic, quote unquote, big air quotes, with certain characters, especially even Batman, it takes a lot of it out of. For me, as a comic book and superhero lover, I don't want too much realism, because it really dilutes a character and makes them boring. You got enough of that going on in real life. Batman, if you think they say, he's far more realistic than Superman because he has no power. Well, yeah, but if you're going to go that game, how come it's would be more realistic if he got shot finally in the face? Eventually gets shot with all those billions of bullets flying in. But you spin that because he's Batman, which is cool. But don't get too deep into realism. And I think Nolan does that too much of that for me personally.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, seriously, like, trying to remember. I think I blocked most of it out of the ending. It like I said, it went to absurd levels. I cannot watch Dark Knight Rises.
No.
I can't watch it, period. Like, I can't. I refuse to watch it. But it's like,
Yeah, well, I'm with you
really? Okay, so Batman retires at the end of the movie.
there. Yep. He retired for a second time at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he retires
Yeah.
with Catwoman.
Now, again, they did steal that sort of from the Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and that's a story that takes place 10 years after he did quit over possibly Jason Todd's death. We're not really sure, but he does come back as a very old Batman. But that's, other than that, they didn't really mess with that too much.
Yeah, it's just something. Okay. If you wanted to go that route, okay, fine. Introducing Tal Al Ghul. Really? Tala?
And again, nothing like, again, I hate to be a geek, but nothing like the one from the comics. She's terrible in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, no, she's just a terrible character. No, period. Like, that version of her was awful.
Yeah, no, I love the comics, but I'm with you there. Yeah,
it's like, okay, so okay, Dark Knight Rises is Batman featuring the cast in Inception. Really, it's almost the entire cast of Inception is in it, besides like Leonardo DiCaprio. Everyone else is in it, pretty much.
Yeah. I never watched it.
I promise, it's okay. It's all right.
You're forgiven.
You're fine. Okay. I promise.
You're so forgiving for a goddess of death.
Chaos, but death.
Death. I'm sorry. I get confused sometimes. I'm sorry.
Same difference. Whatever. So okay, the ending is insane. It's like, okay, so all of a sudden he's hooking up with her. It's like, oh, okay, I know who she is, but you have had literally no build up to this. This is like, no. I would have believed it more if it was Rachel. You know what I mean? Like, if that was Rachel Tala, like, I would have believed it more, for how he acted. But no, we couldn't do that. Because that would be smart. What he did instead was, he got with Tala for some unknown reason, because I know why he got with her. I'm saying there's no reason in the movie that he should have gotten with her, because there's nothing between them. The movie didn't even care at all to build that up whatsoever. And all of a sudden there's a nuclear bomb. Nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Why? I'm sorry, did I switch the channel to Mission Impossible? No, I didn't. I'm in the theater. So, okay. What's happening? And then it's like, oh, you got like 2 minutes. You're in the middle of Gotham City. We got 2 minutes. You got to take this nuclear bomb that's gonna detonate in 2 minutes. Which at that point you might as well just stay. And then you got to go somewhere that's 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know where he goes instead of, I guess, nowhere, because there's at that point 2 minutes that you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I would probably call up Superman, being like, hey,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to need you to turn the planet around a little bit. I'm going to need a little bit more time to do this.
They call the Justice League. Oh, there's none. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's just a nuclear bomb. Yeah, you would think that some other superhero at that point, you're like, okay, you've really reached out of your league, because there's a nuclear bomb, okay, about to go off in Gotham City. I don't know. I would have put my pride aside at that point and called up somebody. Yep. Almost anyone. The Flash would have been probably one of my first calls.
There you go.
I would have done the Flash. Soups got him in. I don't know. Get Wonder Woman to punch Tal Al Ghul for being such a bitch. Just the usual, just as what I personally would have done. Let's see who else. I don't know. Those are just name a few that I probably would have, because there's just not. There's just no reason for. There's no reason to have that plot point. You can't convince me that there was a good reason for that to have happened. Because then he goes out to, I think it was Bay. He goes out to the Bay, which I thought Metropolis was on the other side of the Bay. So you just you just fucked both Gotham and Metropolis, so thank you for that. Again, another reason to get Superman involved. Just my personal opinion. And then it goes off, and supposedly he's supposed to have survived that somehow. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. So there's no refrigerator. I guess there was a refrigerator nearby from the 1950s, in order to for him to have survived that. I guess there was.
Maybe he borrowed Indy's refrigerator for that.
Yeah. He just had one of those in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
He saw the movie and he said, "Well, I'll bring one of those. I'll keep one of those in the bat plane thingy,
just in case." And then, yeah, and then okay, I forgot about this. What they did to Alfred? How fucking dare you, Bruce? What you did to Alfred?
Oh boy, yeah.
Really? That man raised you like he was your own. Wait, he was his own child. He raised him.
You're making me hate that movie even more.
I hate the movie. Yeah,
I've been seeing it since 2012.
Yep, nope. It's burned in my brain. Like I can't get rid of it. And the more the anger is coming back because it's so awful. First of all, you drove Alfred to the point of leaving, and then you were just like, "Bye." All that you've done, okay. But the first one, that you got Alfred, you hurt Alfred to the point that he decided to leave. Do you realize how bad that is? That you really need to reconsider everything you're doing in your life if Alfred's leaving. Alfred.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then you let Alfred think you died. You let a whole funeral happen where he thought you died. Which also, by the way, really convenient that Batman and Bruce Wayne died at the same day, and no one questioned that.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Also, you telling me that Bruce Wayne was just in a French cafe? I don't care. Some cafe somewhere, and a man supposedly dead, and what? No one noticed.
No one noticed Bruce Wayne, one of the most famous. Well, I guess he's a reclusive billionaire now, but it's just. Well, no thought went into any of that, though. None.
But no, you just wanted that little scene. But you know what I'm going to tell you? You can go take that scene, you can shove up your ass because it's stupid. Okay? You wanted to have an emotional payoff moment where it was like, oh, I'm so happy. It's like, no, I'm angry at you, Bruce. I am angry at you. You retired? You just died. You let Alfred think you died. I just really. I how dare you? How dare you, man? And the only reason he found out, I think, that he was alive is, didn't he just stumble across him? Oh, I just happen to be here.
Yeah.
I think so. If that's not the, I don't care. I hate it. It doesn't matter.
No,
even if he sent him a postcard, it's like, yeah, well, you let him attend your funeral. And then if you send him a postcard, like, oh, JK, well, I'm here. Yeah, I'm there. It's like, oh no, no, all of Gotham should have been wiped out. Metropolis too. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, no, I think I mentioned it before, but Bane being everything about Bane. I'm just gonna move on from that point. The meme material was phenomenal. Like to this day, it's still funny. But I think that it's that scene where all of Gotham PD, everyone, okay, is standing outside this hole leading down to the sewers. And they just go charging in there, I think. And then, which is like the most obvious trap I've ever seen in my entire life. And then, what do you know? They get trapped in there. All of you. So not half of them. So there was no plan. No. I think the only Gotham PD officer was like Gordon. Robin. Oh, okay. Also really glad that Robin Yeah, I'm gonna call him Robin because that's his first
Robin.
name. Robin. I'm really glad that Robin was, able to figure out Batman's secret identity in 2.5 seconds. Oh, you must be something special because you figured out my identity. Actually, I don't see any.
God, I hate that movie. It makes me hate it even more.
I don't think you could have figured that out. Because who Batman is and who Bruce Wayne is two very different characters, and it's not like 8-year-old Bruce started being Batman like immediately. I don't think he works really, really hard to make sure you can't figure it out it was him. And it's really only until he tells you the story, or if I'm not that he would, but it's just like not until he says the story, it's just like, oh, okay, I kind of see it now. It's not like super obvious. And there's a reason. There's two very different people. Bruce is nothing like Batman. Bruce is a persona, not Batman. Batman is who Bruce really is. But the Bruce Wayne, is... And I thought they nailed who Bruce Wayne was in Dark Knight. I thought they nailed that really well. The mix. And then Batman Begins, I think, even more so. Batman Begins gave me the Bruce Wayne, the live action Bruce Wayne that I'd really wanted to see. The drunk billionaire, the drunk playboy billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I kind of I knew him as.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked that in the mansion scene. I didn't like that they burned down the mansion, but
hated that. Yeah, I didn't like that
either. Gonna move past that a little bit. Man, the Dark Knight Rises. It's like, oh, we cannot forget the skyscraper with the bat symbol on it and fire.
Ugh.
Yeah, because you know what I want my heroes doing? The heroes of my city. Do you know what I want? Okay, so when everything's going to shit, okay, and things are awful, it's hell on earth. You know what I want them to do? I want them to have to take 4 hours out of their day when time is not on our side whatsoever, and to very carefully cover this skyscraper just perfectly enough. In a way, it's going to take it's probably more than 4 hours. It's going to take a minute so that it paints the bat symbol on it and lights it on fire to let everyone know he's back. Instead of just diving into what needs to be done and not letting everyone know he's back.
It's no, I'm with you on that one. We don't have any disagreement on this thing. It's just turgid mess of movie.
I just wanted to talk about it.
Oh, I don't blame you. You haven't heard me go on about Jar Jar Abrams and a lot of other things, and bad. So I'm totally with you. I think Let's Talk Star Trek had to go, but I like I love the name Let's Talk Star Trek because I agree with that sentiment.
From this one?
Yes, but also, Let's Talk Star Trek said something earlier about how, it's there's one there.
I started ranting a little bit. Oh, thank you for being here. Hey, thanks for being here, Jesse.
Someone said you have haters out there that you should say hello to. How could you possibly have haters?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You do? No way.
Yeah, it's all right. If they watch me and they hate me, then they're a fan. So, thank you.
Yeah, with me here, they're hating you even more than I'm adding to the haters probably, but screw them.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, just put them all up in there. They're giving me watch time. They're giving me views. They're helping me out in the algorithm. Please drop a dislike if you are a hater. Please do that. I really do appreciate the interaction on my videos because that just helps my channel out. So just go all the way if you're going to help me, and waste your time on someone that you hate. Because you're helping me at this point. So, like, if you are going to go to the point that you're going to come onto my shit and you're going to, hold on a second, try to find.
I didn't see anything. Someone said that you had, so hail to the haters. There you go.
Yeah, if you're going to come onto my shit and you're going to watch me, use your spare time on this, your finite amount of time on this planet to watch me. And to interact and just do it and let me live rent free in your head and give me that level of power. If you're going to do that, you might as well go all the way and hit a like or dislike. Comment. Hell, come into the chat. I don't care. Share my video. You're gonna bother to do that and seriously, like, go do something else. Go have a life.
No kidding.
Love a fucking god.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think about you. Stop thinking about me. Go. Jesus Christ, get over yourself. You're not that important. Anyway.
No, there's the thing. Look, why spend time on it? If you really don't like someone's video, then you got plenty of other options out there. And even if I watch someone's video, for example, and I end up not liking it, I still don't put the dislike thing. I just go away and just don't watch them anymore. Because it's just like, why be rude? Even if you don't like them.
It's like, really? Like, if I don't like something, I'm not going to watch it. Like Dark Knight Rises. Yes. I don't like it. I'm not going to watch it again. It's not going to make me feel better. So if you don't like me, why are you here?
I hear you.
You're a fan. And you are a fan of me if you are hate watching me.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, hon.
Everyone else here is really nice. Everyone else here is really nice, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're in the chat. It's just like, you hate me? Oh, Jeff. Oh, it hurts, my dude.
I absolutely hate you.
It's funny, because you noticed, and I just noticed this too, my view count went down a little bit.
Oh.
After I told people to leave.
That's my fault. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned it. I should have mentioned it. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to mention it. I just needed to get the... it came... I think they came back.
Okay, well, that's good.
Oh, nice. Thank you. You can't stay away. I know I'm very addicting. I am a wonderful, gorgeous, smart, intelligent person. And if you're here to hate me because you're jealous of me, there's a lot to be jealous of, sweetheart. So just take your pick. Anyway, we're just gonna move on because I'm feeling a little sassy right now.
Way to handle it, I say.
I just do not understand people who have there's a little bit of time on this planet. It's really not a whole lot when you think about the universe in general, and you have a very small amount of spare time, especially, it's like, go do something you like, go hang out with people you enjoy, go do, just, if you're stuck in quarantine, watch things you like, I don't know, clean, do something, anything. Like, really stop giving me so much power in your life where I'm living rent free in your head and you're coming onto my things and you're watching me because you hate me so much. That makes you a fan. You're hate watching me and you love me. You love to hate me. So you're a fan of me. So please go if that's what you're here doing, because I don't like the idea that people are wasting their lives doing something they hate. You just no one should do that to themselves. That's awful. Go.
Indeed.
Go do something you love.
Indeed.
Enjoy yourself. Really and truly go do something that makes you happy. And if it makes you happy to sit here and be hateful, then you need to reconsider and go get help. I don't know.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're just going to move on to the Mummy 3.
Oh, boy. Yay, Mummy 3.
What would you say was the worst thing they could have done in the Mummy franchise? Because they did it. Oh, they did it.
Put Tom Cruise in it? Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about the other. Let's see.
Wow. No, we're not talking about the Tom Cruise one.
Just kidding. I just
that will be a side note.
I want to take a swipe at him. I hate Tom Cruise. I'm one of those.
We will talk about that. We don't worry. We will talk about the Tom Cruise Mummy movie here in a minute.
Mummy 3, for me, might have been had a chance to be good. I think with a decent setup. You're setting it years and years after the first two. Good God, I don't know, but it was just a terrible story. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a big answer for you other than that. I thought it was a terrible story.
For me, it's like the worst thing you could have done in the Mummy franchise is replace one of the main characters.
Yeah, for
Rachel
Maria
Wise,
Bello.
is that her name? Is that how you say it? I can never pronounce her last name. So
it's Wise, and she was replaced by Maria Bello or something, right?
Aw. I don't know what her name was either. I didn't bother to learn it. Aw.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know if they had a choice. I don't know if the lady, it had been many years, as you know.
I don't think there should have been a third one, honestly. The first two are brilliant.
Yeah, they're fun movies.
They're great. I have the original one up in my living room. Like I love it.
I don't know if Rachel was available or wanted to do it, though. I don't know. But
I don't know, but I'll be honest. Like, I don't care what the reason was that she wasn't there. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Wise,
something.
Wise. Okay, I'm just saying Wise. Chat. Chat, please correct me if I'm mispronouncing that. They had amazing chemistry. Like, you could feel it. It was phenomenal. I loved it. Very believable characters. And when they replaced her, which was the worst possible option they could have picked. They replaced her.
Yeah.
It was just everything else was wrong. Everything. It could have been a good. Maybe it was a bad story. I don't really remember the story. I just remember how angry I was that they replaced my favorite character, because Rachel Weisz's character was my favorite character. I loved her. I identified with her. I really did. I really identified with her as a person, like, or as a character. And like I watched The Mummy, the original one. I've talked about Silence of the Lambs, how I had a whole summer where I watched it. Well, very few I've only a few movies I've done that with. The Mummy is actually another one of those movies that I did that with. I watched it on repeat for like a whole.
Wow, just the first one, eh? The first one.
Mm-hmm. The original, yeah. I was actually able to, say the dialogue with the characters.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much I watched it. I absolutely loved it. And then, second one, not as good as the first one, but I loved it too. And then the third one, what they should have done is they should have gone ahead and just made them have a divorce. Have the characters have a divorce, and then this is the new wife. They didn't do that. They just made her.
Yeah, they just replaced her, recast her.
The character with someone that didn't even look like her.
No.
Or act like her. There's nothing similar to them besides their name. There was no chemistry between that actress and Brendan Fraser. It was awful. And then you went from Egyptian to, I think, was it Tomb of the Dragon Emperor? Was it?
Yeah, that Jet Li is the bad guy, if I remember. Yeah. If I remember correctly. Yeah.
Apparently, I put a lot of that in Trauma Bin, where I don't remember it very much. I really don't remember that movie.
It was a very forgettable film more than anything else to me, I found.
It was just the idea that they replaced her. It was like, why on earth would you do that? Pay her the money. God, it was worth it. Chinese culture. Thank you, Kronos. Thank you. I was going to say Asian culture. Chinese. I wasn't sure. I knew it was something to do with that, but I couldn't remember specifically which Asian culture it is. And
yes.
Lord knows I didn't want to offend anybody. It was just thank you. Some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life was in the second one. Jesus Christ.
I never watched all of that one, I don't think. Scorpion King.
You might have seen pictures of.
Oh yes, it's terrible. Yes.
Of the CGI. Yes. Yeah, no, it was bad when I watched it, and it's worse because of how much longer it is. It was just like.
There's the answer you needed there. Okay.
Do you know why they couldn't Rachel? She was pregnant at the time. Okay.
Well, they should have waited.
You should have waited. Yeah, should have waited, because that actually makes it worse. I thought she didn't want to do it.
If she was willing to do it afterward, they should have
Yeah.
waited. But
Or I don't know. You have Gillian Anderson from X-Files who did her show while she was pregnant. I don't know, Rachel, maybe fuck up. I don't know. Like, or you could have waited, because what the result was is you lost a lot of us by recasting her. I would have waited, because that's 9 months. So I'm sorry, like, just wait. It was a bit long. If I remember, it was a bit long after, right? Was doing a lot in the time.
Yeah, because remember in the film,
don't do
no, go
it.
ahead.
No. She said, she was doing a lot during the time. Okay, well, maybe you should have waited, or just not had the actress pretend that she was the same character. That was awful. That was an awful decision. You cannot tell me that was a good decision at all.
Popular at that point, around that time. So, and she would, like, so they said she's pregnant. So yeah, you could have done other. You could have just written the character out and mentioned her or something like that or whatever. But yeah, because it was a long time. Remember, his son was all grown up.
Yeah. You could have written her. You know what you could have done? You could have had her like die or something. I don't know. You could have had her something or another, or I don't know. You just not it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't saying that you were excusing it. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing you could tell. This is one of those things where, like, nothing you could tell me could convince me that it was a good idea, because it was so different. It was different in a not a great way.
I don't even think I went to the theater. I think I watched it later. So.
I don't remember how I saw it. I really don't. Like I said, I'm like blocking it out.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. I'm blocking it out for the most part. I didn't know Jet Li was in it. I was just
yeah. Rachel was in demand back then. Sounds like to me.
She's a great actress.
People are saying, yeah. No, I don't know if I've seen her in much lately, but then I don't watch much new crap anyway. So she might be doing something,
You know what? I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know. I'm sure she's on the IMDb.
Rachel
Weisz, but yeah, the film is mostly forgettable to me more than anything else. And if you're talking about a franchise killer, yes, but they also waited a long time. Which I remember saw the first one in the theater; it was great, and I couldn't wait to see the second one in the theater. Oh. And then I was to make another Mummy. They kept saying we're going to make another Mummy film, and then you waited too long.
Huh. Okay. Well, fun news, everybody. Yes. Apparently, she has a role in the Black Widow movie. I just went on IMDb. Kidding. Apparently, she's in that. She didn't do anything in 2019, according to IMDb. She's not doing as much. You can tell her career slowing down.
Yeah, well, but she's still out there kicking. That's good.
Yeah, I just I'm very skeptical about Black Widow movie. Yes.
Same. Way too late.
Oh wait, is it possible? Wait, hold on a second. Is it possible she has? That's what I'm saying. Is like
Maybe she didn't. Maybe she was kind of done with Hollywood. You couldn't blame anyone for that.
I mean, I can't blame her for that. I don't think there needed to be a third one, because I think they wrapped everything up in the second one.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think that might. You know what? Okay, so that movie might actually be more in the
Leave It Alone category.
I didn't see that movie either. It might have been. Oh, hold on a second. She could also be doing more stage work, possibly. And I'm just. It's one of those where they just didn't
need to do it.
They didn't replace her correctly. The movie, that movie just had a whole different vibe, and not in a good way.
Indeed.
They could have had. It could have been more of a spinoff. They could have focused more on this. I don't know. I just bummer. It's a wasted potential. A wasted Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
I think that's a crime in and of itself. You wasted Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
So that movie might have. If they would have replaced him with Nick Cage, that movie might have been better. Maybe.
They also wasted Brendan Fraser in Journey to the Center of the Earth. So,
Yeah.
yeah, boy.
Mhm. Let's see. Oh.
I know another franchise killer you'd mentioned before.
Which one? I mentioned a few.
It starts with an A, and
Oh,
it's a 3. There's a 3 in it.
Yeah, the one that I'm looking at, the poster I'm looking at right now. Yeah. Alien 3?
Oh, stop saying bad words.
Aliens 3? Alien 3. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop. Oh, rip. Now, I know there's apparently a good cut out there. Loki mentioned that to me last time, that apparently there's a good cut.
I mean, Fincher's a good filmmaker, but maybe there is.
I would love to see, what's the cut again, Loki? I'm
sure it probably is. Yeah.
I didn't hear. I'm a big Alien fan.
Well, I've heard about
never heard of it.
Whether it's good or not, who knows? Will we ever see it? I mean,
no, he's seen it. That's what I'm saying. It's like he's seen this cut. I don't remember what the cut is. The name of the cut is.
Well, it certainly
I
allows
go back and forth on Prometheus. I can okay. The artist in me, kind of like the artist and lover of Greek mythology, loves it. I have to forget it's an alien movie for the most part, though.
Oh, this is director's cut. Okay, yeah, I never watched it because I hated the movie so much. So they say it's better. Good. I'm glad it's better.
Yeah, and that's what he told me. I think on the last stream.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned it to me once before, but since I didn't like the movie, I never gave it a shot. But now maybe I should, since Jeff Zilla and Loki are saying it's good. So you never know. I hated Resurrection, so after that I was out of the alien stuff business forever.
Yeah. If you can make me actually enjoy the movie, because I like Alien 4. Alien 4 is is fun. I think it's like kind of like Kick-Ass Ripley. Not saying that she wasn't. She is. She's Kick-Ass, but I'm talking about like
the Ripley clone.
Yeah, like straight up just Alien. Oh, hey Trey, how's it going, Trey?
Greetings, program. That's a Tron fan there. Well done.
Oh yeah.
I love Tron.
All right, that's great. Yep. Yeah, he is. Hey, got a fellow fan there.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I go back and forth on that movie. But yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like no, I do not like it. Okay, no, Prometheus is one of those movies where I'm just like, yeah, please, everybody, please die immediately. Now, if you think about it on a mythological level or of the alien, it's fine. I don't know what they were doing with Covenant. I think you just need to tap out, redo that again. It's like, ooh, why did you do that? I could see where they were trying to go. I think they failed.
Could it be? Well, I'll put it to you. Could it possibly be that some things don't really lend themselves to long or extended series? It's just why maybe one or two films are good in it. Whereas other things, like the Lethal Weapon films, you can say what you want about. I like the first two. Then the third one's okay. The fourth one, but still, or even the Die Hard films. I'm a big fan of those. Nothing touches the original, but kind of like them. They're varying qualities to varying people's taste. But you could see a cop having further adventures. You could see certain characters having further adventures, whereas Jaws never should have been a sequel. Whereas certain films, you go, all right, maybe like Terminator is great. Then Terminator 2, I love it, I admit it. But sometimes you stop, or you should. You don't. You should.
You mentioned that. So many of these, it's like if you stopped after 2, I wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
If you would have stopped after The Dark Knight, I wouldn't be talking about it. You stopped after Mummy 2, I wouldn't be talking about it.
But Batman should have good. There's no excuse for Batman to be bad. The third film is an idea, right? All I'm saying is you could see a third Batman film, whereas leave Jaws done and don't do it anymore.
I think Jaws 2 was okay, but that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, but man, I tell you,
bad. 4 was.
When you get up to, I consider Jaws to be one of the greatest movies of all time. So when you get Jaws 2, when I go in the theater, I'm like, yeah, you're trying to top it, and you have the shark pull a helicopter into the water. Jesus Christ.
That's
Proving
something
that
Sci-Fi Channel would have done and has
you got to
done.
get bigger. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now they're 50 billion Jaws movie. I mean, shark movies. So,
Yeah. But
so
what other movies?
some
Halloween, you should have stopped after 2.
I'd say 1, but I'm with you. I hear you. Yeah.
I could see it's like 2. It's like it's
Yeah.
3. Just no
Fair,
everything else.
fair enough. But 2 is what always gets you into trouble, though. Because if they get over that 2 hump, whether people this almost always happens with rare exceptions. People will go, yeah, 2 is okay, but man, you didn't top 1, but it's enough to get a third one made. Whereas you got the rare instances where you have your Empire Strikes Back, which is my all-time favorite film, or Bride of Frankenstein, or Terminator 2, which are considered
Dark
by
Knight.
many,
Yeah.
Dark Knight, considered better than their original.
Yeah,
For every one of those,
Mhm.
most of your 2s are like, but they get a next one made a lot of times.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. It does. It goes on. The Kingdom and the Crystal Skull and the franchise. Yeah, I think we came to that conclusion. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And it was a franchise.
It
was a franchise that was dormant and didn't need it. Either, when it comes to indie movies, now they're, as you probably have heard, they're talking about doing another one. Like, please don't. Could you please not? Just for the love of God.
If they're gonna, if they're gonna do it though,
old Indiana Jones.
Don't give me Shia LaBeouf as Indiana Jones's son. Really?
I don't think you have to worry about that. He's so way out there. He wouldn't do it. He's nuts.
Yeah. I've heard Chris Pratt being thrown around as the son of Indy, and I was like, yeah, I could see that. Actually,
I wouldn't be too bad.
I would be okay with that.
I'd rather that than him be recast Indy as him and set it back, and him just start over or some kind of crap.
Or you don't really have Indiana Jones in the movie per se that much. You have him be the one that's kidnapped, and his son has to go do it. It's kind of like a start. I heard that idea being thrown out. It was like, no, I do not hate. No, it takes a lot for me to hate a movie. I hate Mummy 3. I hate Dark Knight Rises. I do not hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If I can find some enjoyment, I don't hate it.
Well, there's that movie. I agree with every single criticism you hear of how dumb things are, and yet there's still part of my heart when I watch old Indy come back after all that time in 2008 that keeps me from really hating, and I'm still liking getting to see Indiana Jones even at an older age. I don't hate it so I guess what I'm saying is I agree with you. I don't really hate it either.
Yeah,
I make fun of it. You can make fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like, especially when you took it the alien route at the end, that kind of lost me there. But I do there's definitely things in that movie I appreciate. Halloween wasn't supposed to be just about Michael Myers after wanted to make on it.
Season of the Witch, man. Old Tom Atkins. I like Tom Atkins, but man. Yeah. Wow.
That's an interesting concept. I haven't thought about that. Because the James Bond movies are like their own genre. Like I can't put them in this category because I can't put them in any. I don't know what to really put them in because it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Josh. I mean, I don't disagree. You can recast them. You can recast them, but the thing is, I don't think it would work. I mean, look, people might like it, but for me, I'd go, just don't make them. But if you make them, I will. Whereas Bond films, they weren't going to stop, and they kept having to recast it, and it was a Time Lord, I guess. I'm a big Bond fan, and they've ruined it for me. But I love the old Bond films. So
I would give it a shot. Okay, like I've given several things a shot. Like, okay, sell me on it. Sell me on this movie with this new version of Indiana Jones. You got to be able to. You can't just tell me. You got to sell me on it. There have been several things I have been like, ugh, but I've been proven wrong on. Kate Blanchett as Hela, I was like, Gal Gadot, whichever one, as Wonder Woman. I was like, but then they sold it to me. and those are two of my favorite characters right now. Like I love Hela from Ragnarok, and
She was really good. Yeah.
I
You like
love the
Wonder Woman?
DC Wonder Woman. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you have to sell it to me though. You can't just like tell me. You got to actually sell it to me. And I think Chris Pratt would be a good candidate for that replacement. Oh,
Yeah.
that is true. That is true. Bond is a code name. Or
Did Ian,
double
no,
O is a
did
code
Ian,
name.
yeah, Ian Fleming never said James Bond was a code name. That was his name.
Yeah, that was
But
his name. Yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
no, the 007 is a code, and yeah, but
Yeah.
but I'm an old school Bond fanatic of the films anyway. They really don't. I mean, I haven't really liked one. I've seen every one in the theater since 1972 or three, whatever it was, and then I won't be going to this the first time in my life. I won't be going to this new garbage.
I won't be seeing it in theaters because they haven't sold me the reason to go to see. I don't see movies in theaters just because they're out. You have to you have to convince me that your movie is good enough for me to go see in the theaters, or else I can be patient and I can wait until you're, out on, DVD or, $5 bin, whatever. I can wait if I really want to go see your movie that bad. Go
Fair
see that
enough.
movie.
Can't blame you.
I'm not going to pay like $30 to go see this movie if I don't think it's going to be good. So anyway,
Jeff said he meant to say 007. Yeah, there you go, bro.
yeah,
I hear you,
no,
buddy.
I
We
read
knew you
it.
did.
Yeah, I read. That's why my
Yeah.
brain I didn't see. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, we know he
missed
knows his
it,
stuff.
and I
Yeah,
read that. Yeah.
I don't know, Shep, but I already gather he knows his stuff, so that's cool. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, Chef's good people.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're talking about Alien. The Alien franchise is interesting because so if we start going in order, right? Alien 1, my favorite sci-fi horror movie of all time. Alien 2, probably the best sci-fi horror action movie of all time, in my opinion.
Aliens? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's a different subgenre than Alien, which is why people, I have to make that.
Sure, fair
Yeah,
enough.
because
it is kind of an action film, yes.
Yeah, it's more. It's
Or a
an
hybrid.
action. Yeah, it's a sci-fi horror action movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Alien is just the sci-fi and horror.
Right.
It's it's more, and if you want to get more specific, psychological sci-fi horror.
Yes.
So those are two very different genres. You cannot judge those movies on the same playing field because they are two very different genres. And it's really not fair.
Right.
So for anybody who plays video games out there or watches them, like watch people play them like I do, it's like comparing Dead Space and Dead Space 2.
Yeah, Aliens is a science fiction action film, not a horror film at all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It is technically a horror film, but it depends on how technical you want to get. Because technically Silence of the Lambs is under psychological thriller, but a lot of people put it under the horror category. It kind of depends. But anyway, so Alien, and we have Aliens. Great, wonderful. No one's going to debate that. Then we have Aliens 3, and I do need to see the director's cut, but as of right now, not having seen it, wow. You went and destroyed everything that happened at the end of 2. Way to go. That was nice. Thank you for that. And then you did. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, Bishop is okay. So Bishop is Waylon.
Hicks is dead.
Okay. All right. Nice. Thank you so much for that. I'm traumatized now. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what happened to him because I'd only, for the longest time in my life, I'd seen 1, 2, 4. I'd never seen 3. My dad told me don't do it. Don't watch it. Don't do it. And I was just like, but I kind of want to know. Morbid curiosity, right?
With that.
Regret. Although again, pre-director's cut, I might be wrong. I can't admit when I'm wrong. I know. Well, what a weird concept. it's see, but I like 4. See, that's what gets me, right? Is I like 4 because of the death scene at the end. I love that death scene. I do. I really like that death scene, and I don't know why, but it's just like the amount of effort that went into making that happen is just like mind blowing. Hello, Martin's of Elysium. Nerds can't say, "Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day, man."
Indeed. You will.
Yeah, you know what? Yes. That hurt a lot to watch that movie. It was like, because I didn't know what happened to Newt and Hicks and Bishop. I didn't know what happened to them, and then
Yeah, it's terrible.
the heart.
But they start out on a terrible wrong foot right there with that film. You go see it after all this time, and you want to know you want some closure and some resolution to the last film a little bit. You didn't need a lot, but you wanted some. And the first thing they do is hit you with a downer right smack in the face. Guess what? Hicks is gone, and Newt died on the way. Suck it. Man, why are you doing this? It really made you start out angry when you want in the theater. I did, and a lot of people did. I mean, I don't know.
I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Stop it. Nope. What are you doing? What are you doing to my character? Nope. And then when it confirms what it is, it's just like, please don't tell me you did what you just did. And then they do. It confirms it. You have to wait. Okay.
It's terrible. And I'm totally with Chef Zilla, and I'm the same exact way. I hated Resurrection in the theater when I first saw it, and I haven't watched it since, but I've heard others like it. You know,
see,
so.
Like I said, I liked it just because, well, I'm a sucker for really kick-ass female characters. And I absolutely adore Sigourney Weaver. And so seeing her be that character, which is like, it's awesome to me.
I do love her. I mean, she was great. By the way, she's great in the movie. I mean,
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's terrific.
And seeing her like merge, that was just kind of cool to me. You know, how calm, how different her character was. You know, her discovering that she was a clone, that scene is horrific. I can hold back on that one. Thank you. That's my problem right there. It really didn't do anything for me. I thought the setting was interesting. I thought it could have been cool.
Good idea, basically, with the no weapons thing, fighting an alien, but yeah. Yeah,
and if you were going, you know what? If you're going to kill off those characters, you should have had it, that should have been a big deal. Like, they're just gone from the ship. And so this is what you should have. You should have had it crash, all right? And that would damage Bishop. And she can't find them anywhere. There's no bodies. It's not like, they died in the ship. No. Alien was on the ship and dragged them off and started creating their little nest. Okay? That's what they should have done. And had them already be dead, having, been more aliens, or just or have an alien inside them, both of them. And she had to make a decision, to kill them. And so she goes ahead, she kills Hicks, and then Newt wakes up, and she has to basically tell her what's about to happen before she kills her. Yeah, that's how you do that. That's how you rip my heart out and stomp on it. Okay? That's how you kill those characters that you made me care about in 2. You do not just kill them off screen. In the credits, in the opening credits, you don't kill them off screen for the most part. It was off screen, and I know I said that's contradictory. It was off screen because I didn't really see it. It made me think that it happened, and then it made me hope it didn't happen, and it was all vague. But I knew it happened, so it was kind of off screen, on screen, off screen. It was stupid,
Yeah.
Dishonor those characters like that so insanely. Just thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and off screen.
Yeah, I'm totally with Chef. Chef is so right about that arc. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? She regains that arc. And if you wanted to, you could have she kind of regained the arc in Resurrection by having that android.
Yeah.
That young girl android,
Rider.
So yeah. You could have had her kind of regain that thing and her kind of have peace with it.
Yeah. Sure.
You could have had that, but what you did is you didn't. You ruined it in 3 by killing those characters off screen. You should not have done that. You're gonna kill those characters off screen. You make me cry. Damn it. Make me care.
Yep.
Rip my heart out. You know? That's what you should have done.
But no, they have to start you out in a bad mood from get-go when you're watching the movie, and you're not well disposed to the rest of the movie when they start you out like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me anyway. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, gee, are you kidding me? God damn it! I mean, why?" I'm sorry. Say language, sorry, but I was pretty upset right at get-go with the film for that. Yeah, maybe it's just me.
Anyway, but so 4. Yeah, we had 4, and then we had AVP. I like the first one. I do.
Yeah.
I like the first one. Although now I'm kind of debating about, because I heard what the actual storyline was in the comics, and that sounded interesting. I can't remember quite what it was, but I have.
Versus Predator, you mean?
Yeah.
They're very different from the movie. Very different.
So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I heard what that was, and I was just like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds really way awesome. And they kind of did it. It didn't really follow through, but they kind of did it. You know, I liked the main character. I liked her. I liked, the idea of Wayland, being so, Wayland being just Wayland and having to go there and actually see it for himself. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yes.
It being in our copy, I just thought it was kind of, it was neat. I
think I did go see that one. And I can't remember much of it because it was just, for me, it was a very flat, kind of a dull. You would think it would be, a pretty good home run mixing the two like they did. It was pretty popular in comics, and people wanted to see it for years. I think there's another thing there. When those comics came out, and they're just comics, granted, but at the time there was actually a comic book industry, they were pretty popular. By Dark Horse Comics, they were. And there were a lot of people for years said, wow, that'd be cool to do a movie of that. The movie didn't come out till way, way, way after that was popular. And not only that, way, way after the Predator films and the Alien films had kind of washed over a little. Enough to where you're kind of going, really? All of a sudden, you're just going to pop this out on us? Yeah. You wait too long sometimes.
Yeah. Like I said, okay. It's a fun movie. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Whatever. 2. What's awful?
Are you talking Predator 2?
No. So I'm not talking about Predator, and I think I think if I did misspeak, I'm sorry. No, I'm not talking about Predator. I'm talking about Aliens versus Predator, AVP.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's what I'm talking about. The first one, okay.
My bad.
The second one is Requiem. And that was awful because I didn't know what was going on during the whole movie because it was dark.
I don't think I even watched it, to be honest, because I didn't like the first. That good, huh?
Okay. You know how it ends? Okay. What happened? Okay. You know how it ends in the first one? With the alien breaking out of the chest of the predator that's dead?
Yes.
Okay. The alien gets loose on the ship because apparently the predators are so incompetent that it's laughable. Kills all the predators. And then again, these are the hunters, the best hunters in the universe, apparently. There's like they are their whole species. It's about hunting things.
Yes.
And none of these predators on the ship could hunt this thing, Apparently, I guess maybe there's one. I don't remember. I can't see the movie because it's shot so
darkly.
dark.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yes. There's ways to not make it. There's ways to make something look like it's at night, but still well lit so that your audience can see what's happening. There's tricks to that. They missed that day. And I think I said this last week, they missed that day in film school because I couldn't see anything. So that killed that.
That always kills the movie for me. I can't stand it. Bad enough eyesight as it is.
I'm just saying, it could have been. You could have had that. That would have been something I would have watched. a whole miniseries dedicated to those two things going at it, I could have got behind that.
What's this? Evar.
Not what happened at all. That's not what happened at all. And then, so like Alien franchise is very complicated when we're talking about something that killed it.
Yeah.
I think the definitive movie that killed it, because if it, it's complicated. It's like I have to give it to Aliens 3 and Covenant.
Okay.
I have to give them to both of them because they both killed the franchise. One literally because they're not doing any more movies, and one in kind of a more killed it for the fans kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like both, technically.
I'm content with the first two movies.
Yeah, like I'm good with the first two. Prometheus, if I'm feeling really nerdy in Greek mythology and kind of feeling, I guess, like I want to watch an art, I want to analyze things to death in an artsy way. Prometheus, I can find enjoyment in. Not none of the characters, just the Greek mythos, the Greek mythology behind it. I'm sorry. No, stop it. No. No.
Why, God? Why?
No. Okay, I'm all about giving people a chance. You had to. Okay, no. Y'all had chances with the Alien franchise, and I love that thing. Is that really okay? No, are you pulling my leg? No, I'm serious, Chef. I'm really getting serious now. Are they really? Because I heard rumors that they were thinking about doing that, but that was like years ago. Is that really? Scott really wants to do that? Why? Really? I'm serious at this point. Why?
I believe it. I can totally believe that he would.
Okay, fine. Then give me a showtime between David and Ripley. Give me that. You want to do that? 2 interviews about it. Well, that just breaks my damn heart, doesn't it? Okay. Well, you know what? You're gonna do that. Well, I want a showdown between David and like an army of xenomorphs. Let's just go crazy. An army of xenomorphs. Okay, and Ridley. Or what you do is you connect Covenant and Alien. He wants to tie it back to Alien and Nostromo. You gotta be very careful. You start messing with messing with the classic. Okay. Don't. Okay. The great thing about Covenant is it doesn't fully connect back to the original. That's the great thing about Covenant. And if you asked me a few years ago, I would have been like, yes, let's do it. And it's like, oh, don't. Because I'm worried. I wasn't that aware of what was happening in Hollywood, when, I think it just come up and the goal is to tie it all up. Yeah, well, maybe don't do that. How about that? How about you don't? How about you stop wrapping up your present, unwrapping it, and then rewrapping it? Because the ribbon's getting frayed at this point.
Yep.
What did he do in the comment? Yeah, I know. I thought, you know what? I'll give them this. I loved seeing the evolution of the xenomorph. I will give that to them. That was interesting to see it evolving into what we know now. It was almost there in Covenant. But isn't David the creative? I don't know. Do they know? I don't think they know. I'm not even sure they know at this point. David is weird. So, and 4 more avatars. I thought I've never seen the first one.
Lucky you.
I've heard it's good. I've heard Pandora at Disney World is supposed to be phenomenal, and I've seen pictures and it looks gorgeous. But
4 more by James Cameron that will be done by the end of the 24th century.
Yeah. Star Trek will start happening by the time we're done.
No shit. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I know Star Trek isn't in the 24th century. No,
it is.
It is, but not the one.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. I mean, in other words, he can't get four. No way he could finish 4 movies by the end of this century.
that's what they implied in Covenant. Yeah, well, you know
Yeah.
what? They can just unimply that. Screw it thing. All right. Anyway, yeah, Avatar was one and done. I'm not saying it's awful, and
I hated it.
sure,
That's just
I
me.
don't know. I'm just saying that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The two's happening, I believe it, but again, when it does, that'll be 10 years. I mean, 10
What are you
years.
talking about? Hold on. Give me a moment.
2010 maybe, something like that.
2009.
9. Wow. Okay. There you go.
Over a decade has passed, and
Yeah. Yeah. And
why
he's
on
doing
earth
it.
would he do that?
It was at one
Really
point. One point, it was the biggest moneymaker of all time for some strange reason. I'll never understand why, but
I don't think anyone, because everyone I've talked to didn't go see it in theaters, so I have no idea. I really
did.
don't. Okay,
Yeah.
you're like one of the first ones. Only people who actually went to go see it because
In
I
fairness,
really don't.
I got dragged to it by a buddy of mine. I said, "No, I don't want to go see that." Yeah, come on, man. That kind of thing. So, not like it was my idea.
Yeah, it was just like that's really wants to finish the evolution. You know what, Ridley Scott? You know what, sir? I'm speaking directly to you now.
Go at him. Take it.
Just saying. I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice. Sometimes things are better when you don't explicitly tell everyone about every little detail.
Amen.
Sometimes you leave it up to the imagination of the viewers in order to create, because what they can do is if you leave it just a little open-ended, just a little bit, you leave it just a little bit open-ended for interpretation, then you will get some things that are way better. Fan theories are fun, okay? People that will take a lot of time and build, watch your things like 1,000 times and build up these like head canons and whatnot, and sometimes just give a little intrigue. Leave it. I don't need to know. Okay, you know what? I don't need to know. The Waylon's scheduled calendars of every doctor appointment he's ever had in his life. I don't need to know those kinds of details. I don't need to know, the exact evolution of the xenomorph. I at one point thought that would be cool. I did. I don't think you can do it and make it cool anymore.
No. I don't either.
I don't know what happened to you, dude. You've made a lot of all these classic directors are making something like James Cameron doing stupid Dark Fate for Terminator, which we will be getting to shortly. Really?
Run things into the ground. Run them into the ground.
Okay, write a fucking book. Write a book that I can ignore. Go fucking write a book. Go do what George R. Martin is and write a lore book instead of finishing his fucking franchise that he started. All right, just go do that. Go do that. Maybe I don't know.
Yep. Some things just don't need to be run into the ground like that.
I really love the Alien franchise, and it breaks my heart to see that's actually a possibility. Don't do something. I don't know. Don't make a movie. We don't even know how Han got. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you're alone. Oh, you're solo.
Don't get me started on Solo. I hated it anyway, but man, that scene right there, I'm glad I watched it on a download. And if I were at the theater, I'd have got up and walked out. Holy crap. Anyway. The way he gets his name, oh man.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that. Thank you.
Oh, it was so stupid. It can't just be his name. Why not? I mean, it's Star Wars. You have crazy names like Luke Skywalker. So
yeah, fantasy not names. These are names that sound cool for a reason.
No,
That's what they do.
Exactly.
You're not gonna make a character that's supposed to kick ass, awesome person, okay? And it could have like, you know, I don't know,
Lord,
some
it's terrible.
lame ass normal name
You're
that
an
we all have.
You're an account far, far away, man. You're not going to name him. His name isn't George Smith. For God's sake,
Wait,
that's terrible.
did we not need to know it? But
The way
the
he
way
got it.
he got it, I don't understand.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're talking about. Sorry, I thought you were talking about aliens, and I was very confused. I I don't care. I don't need to know that. I really don't. Ooh, we can talk about Harry Potter. Let's do Terminator, and then we can go to Harry Potter. That's a fun one.
Okay. No, really?
I think Predator is one of the few franchises out there that learned its lessons from its predecessors. Stop that for 2. Good job.
They did some later, didn't they?
Oh wait, they did the
The
reboot.
Alien Predators and all that, and that the Predator thing, which I didn't see, but yeah.
Oh, I forgot they did the reboot.
But there was a long, space between Predator 2 and when they, started messing with it again, though. So yeah, Terminator though, oh boy.
Don't worry about Chronos. Sorry, Harry Potter.
Harry Plopper.
Okay. Again, we have the whole 1 was and 2 was and I'm not talking about Harry Potter. I'm actually talking about the Harry Potter franchise. You can just keep it by itself. What I'm going to talk about is the Fantastic Beasts franchises that we didn't need.
Oh, I did not see those.
We didn't need Fantastic Beasts. Okay, you know what? I'll do it real quick, and then we're going to go into Terminator.
Ooh.
Fantastic Beasts. All right, should have been it. That should have been done. Then they tell us, oh, we're going to have 7 fucking sequels.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay, nice. Not really. It's less than that, but it's so ridiculous. Yeah, I forgot about that, and I think everyone else did too.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about it because I grew up with it. That was a huge part of my childhood because I was literally growing up with Harry. So it was like I have mixed feelings about it. Let's see. Okay, so Crimes of Grindelwald was awful, and I think they needed to not have done it. And my hair is awesome, by the way.
It is.
Just like me. Oh, actually, that fixed it. Okay. I've been trying to fix it for like 2 hours now, and that fixed. Okay. Anyway, Crimes of Grindelwald shouldn't have happened. It was awful. Yep. And oh god, everything was bad. The title was bad. The fact that J.K. Rowling thinks she can, she writes novels, so being a screenwriter is the same thing because obviously, no, it's not. They're 2 totally different things. We're just that. Yep. And now we're gonna move on to Terminator because I can't. I hated Crimes of Grindelwald. I really did. It really made me mad. It's okay. Crimes of Grindelwald happens before Harry Potter in the timeline.
The prequel.
Yeah, and it has more advanced magic in it. Far more advanced magic. Spells, literally, there's not even really a spell for shit anymore. You just wave your wand and fire comes out of it. Or and I know that's a method. Don't give me that nonsense. I know that's a method. But it's just magic. They broke the rules. They broke so many rules. It's just like it's not supposed to. There's supposed to be like it's not supposed to be able to fix everything. Magic isn't supposed to fix everything.
Yep.
In those movies, it's not, and that's what it ends up doing. It's so magical. The characters are drastically different. Characters. There's not. There should have been a movie between that movie and the first one because the characters are just so incredibly, insanely different. It blows my mind. There's characters that are supposed to have, their memory lost, and from the first one, that just for some odd reason have it back. The fight scenes are like, how people complain about fight scenes being cut. I can't follow what's happening. Yeah, that's the opening scene. Is all of that. I have no idea what happened. To this day, I have no idea what happens in that first scene because it's just cut. Every 2 seconds, there's a cut. I have no idea what's going on. Crimes of Grindelwald was an awful name because there's no Crimes of Grindelwald. Grindelwald doesn't do a whole lot. He doesn't. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. Waste of Jude Law. That's a crime in and of itself.
Yes, of course, yes.
And J.K. Rowling forgot her own lore because McGonagall isn't even supposed to be alive when she's shown in the movie. Because,
wow.
Yeah, that was good. Anyway, so moving on. I'm done. I'm done talking about Crimes of Grindelwald. They need to stop. They won't, but they need to stop.
Oh, yes.
So, Terminator.
Oh, boy.
So.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Man. There are only two movies to me. There are only two movies that matter to me, and then
let's see.
And I've seen way too many of the ones that don't, for my taste.
Real quick. Let's see, they don't really show any of the past crimes. I don't know what his crimes were supposed to be, so I think it was a terrible title. I don't think there should have been second one. I don't even think there should have been first one, but that's just me. Anyway, let me see. Terminators, I've seen 1, 2, 3. Let me see. It's okay. Okay, so OG. I blanked out on 2.
Judgment
Day. Rise of Machines, and then you have
Salvation,
Genesis,
and then this new garbage.
Yeah, and then Dark Fate.
Yeah, I did not see the new one, never will, but I saw the other ones.
Yeah. Now the question is, where did the franchise get killed? This is an interesting one because there are a variety of correct answers, actually, depending on how you argue it. And basically, you could choose anything after 2 and be somewhat okay. But
yeah, but 3 at least did. I mean, I didn't like it all a whole lot, but I mean, it did fairly well, enough to get Salvation made. Salvation may be the killer. It didn't really do that great. Genesis or whatever. I don't know. You could go with one of those two. The new one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to,
they literally killed it.
Yeah, I mean the new one walked up to the corpse to make sure and ran over it with a tractor several times, then scooped it all up, put it in the coffin, and dropped it in a really big hole, and dropped a lot of cement on it, and then torched it with. It destroyed the entire universe to make sure that there's nothing ever going to happen ever again. I hope.
I didn't see. Okay, so I only saw 1, 2, and 3, if I'm remembering correctly. I think 4 was the one where Christian Bale went insane.
Yes.
Genesis was the one with Matt Smith.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yes.
Dude, you should have just stayed. You should have just stayed as a doctor. I don't know what you were doing. Let's see. Also, they should have spelled it with an I, not a Y. Really dumb name choice.
The movie sucks so bad.
There was no reason for it to be Y. Stupid.
It's so freaking bad, man. Ugh.
Yeah, it's almost pretentious. It's like it's annoying. It's like, we're going to make it this way because we want to be unique and different and hip and cool with the kids. But
Salvation's mostly just dull. I mean, it's got some interesting bits here and there, and the part with Arnold. It's not good. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's very good, but it's not didn't really piss me off. I was kind of just snoozing through it. I didn't even go to see Genesis until an idiot friend brought it over. So, you want to watch this? I said, no, I don't want. No, come on, let's just. All right, we had people over, and after it, I murdered him and buried him in the backyard. No, I said, dude, what is wrong with you? Why did you bring this crap? So, if you ever have a chance to see Red Letter Media's, they took Genesis. I'm sorry, I just called that to be a jerk. And
no, it's technically the accurate pronunciation of the word, how it's spelled. So
they broke it down, all the unbelievably ridiculous time paradoxes in the film. Like they wore lab coats and did it on the chalkboard to mess around. And it's the best way you can review a movie. They just didn't. Obviously, they reviewed it from an artistic standpoint in another video. This one, to show how unbelievably moronic Terminator Genesis is, they broke down all the ridiculous time paradoxes in it, and it's they made. I was going, you know what? Almost glad the movie got made because this video is hilarious. But Jesus, it's bad.
Yeah,
So.
it's and I think Josh and Rebecca pretty much nail it. I think I get 3. I don't mind 3. Sorry, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was because I agree with you. You're right. They said it perfectly, Josh.
Yeah. It was 3. I like the liquid. That's the liquid one, right?
Now that was the
really
Lady Terminator. The Lady Terminator. Remember?
The Lady Terminator.
Yes.
I do have to confess, I'm not super into the Terminator friend. You probably could have guessed that already, but I'm not that super into it. So I have to defer and just make sure. I don't want to start talking and acting like I know what I'm talking about.
The Sarah Connor Chronicles was pretty decent. Just got canceled. But go ahead, sir.
I didn't even.
Yeah, it was a Fox series. A Fox series called Sarah Connor with Summer Glau and it was Lynn Headley or whatever, and it was pretty good. A lot of people like it. I thought it was interesting, and then of course they said, "Wait a minute, this is good. It's got to be canceled because it's on Fox." Boom, and they canceled it. They fireflied it. Yeah.
Well, apparently they learned. They took notes from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yes.
Good. Then it must die.
Can it? Yes.
Hit it away from me. It's too good.
Hey guys, people like this thing. Nix it.
Yeah, it's making us money. We can't have that. Yeah. 3, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Salvation, like I said, Salvation. All I know about Salvation is Christian Bale apparently went insane. I don't know anything else about that movie.
It's funny that audio, that hot mic audio that leaked online or whatever is the most notable thing about that movie that people think about. So that's what you thought about. You didn't, that's.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the movie. That's all I know about that movie. Christian Bale lost his damn mind on that movie set.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Genesis or Genesis, whichever one you want to do. It's that one. That one I feel like it just contradicted itself like the entire movie. It was just a contradiction because it was like not Skynet, but Skynet.
It'll hurt your brain if you try to think about it. Oh, man.
Now I have to say, I think, and I do know a little bit more about Dark Fate, just because I've watched some reviews on it.
Yes,
I do have to. Yeah, I have to make that disclaimer. I'm trusting that these reviewers know what they're talking about because I didn't see the movie. Because again, I like to watch things that I enjoy. I don't like watching things that I hate. Yep. Because if you get paid to do that, I guess. But like, I'm not getting paid to do that, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to do that all yourself. Go be mad. I don't care. Let's see. One of the big problems I heard with Dark Fate, other than everything else, was they're reading my mind, Chef.
Exactly. Thank you.
That was the problem.
I did not know about that, and I went to the theater to see it, and I see that happening. Like I've heard about. I'm getting up, walking out, and I'm going to probably go. I'm supposed to say something very disgusting now. I'm going to be mad. Okay. I'm going to be. It's like that is filthy. That's vile what they did to John Connor. Say what you want about Eddie Furlong. He was a little annoying little dude, but T2's still a great movie. He's a great character. That was disgusting.
Yeah, especially it was Arnold's Terminator, right?
Yes, he killed him. Like, horrible.
No, did you not watch 2? Because in 2, they had a whole movie on why he wouldn't have done that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no, I mean,
exactly. The whole movie. Maybe you missed the whole movie.
They could replace John Connor with a girl hero instead of a boy hero. His story. That was why it was done.
Yeah, no, I know. It's bad. Yeah. That could have been done. Well, but they didn't. So I mean, that's kind of on you.
Did he need to be replaced? I don't understand why he needed to be replaced. You could just have other. You could make other characters and have an. You could.
No, that's effort.
add it-
That takes effort.
Yeah, you could have had another. Made the movie
Wasn't
about a female character. No one would have minded if she was a good character. But you don't have to take it away from John Connor. The thing started with him as the hero, and the main, and the catalyst. And why do that?
Correction. And see, this is why I'd like always tell me the truth. So thank you for correcting me, chat. Apparently, it was a different T800.
Yeah, it was a different T800. Yes.
I didn't know that. No,
Oh.
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't watch it.
Well, it was still Arnie. It was still Arnie. So.
Well, I mean, okay. I'll put it this way: the emotion that comes from if you watch. Okay, so
Yeah, because
you go on T1 and you watch T2. You watch 1, 2. All right, and then you watch this one, and it's like, oh, I understand that it's not, but you know what? Okay.
No, that's a good point. I mean, I forgot when you forget almost that he melted at the end of 2. So
yeah,
right.
But I know he melted at the end of 2. I just thought somehow
it came back.
I don't know.
The way that thing plays with time. Look, the way that last one we played around with time.
Yeah,
hey, I mean, all bets are off.
It's completely messed up. It's worse than the X-Men series now. Yes. The X-Men franchise. Which we can go into that too if you want.
Sure, I'm the game.
If you. I was going to say, we could even cover, Fantastic Four, but that one kind of was dead on arrival on the first iteration.
Yeah. Yes, you can't get worse than Fantastic, but those other 2 movies are no prizes either. Yeah,
so it's like I don't even know if we could really cover that, but X-Men we can definitely.
Calling them a franchise was giving them a whole lot. They're not. You have to have some modicum of success at some point to be considered a franchise.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? Okay, I will say this. So I was wrong about the Terminator being the same. At the end of the day, you still gunned down John Connor as a kid.
Disgusting.
So you have destroyed. Okay, you're now in paradox territory because the whole reason that T1 happens is because he's alive.
Not anymore.
In the future. So you literally can't have Dark Fate because of a paradox. That's the thing about time travel, y'all. There's these things called paradoxes. Yeah. So because in Terminator 1, I am now officially blanking out on the guy that came back.
Kyle Reese.
Yes. When he came back. Yeah. Yes. When Reese came back and got with Sarah, came back because they were going to have John. Now, I don't think they really knew that, but that's kind of how he came back. So John Connor was very important already in that. John Connor was already important in that timeline. So when you go back, you can't have that because now John Connor doesn't exist in that future in T1 anymore because he died as a kid. So he's not this big war hero now from the future that Reese came back from.
Yeah.
So you can't have that. That's a paradox. Because now John Connor doesn't exist. So Kyle Reese can't go back in time to have, have sex with Sarah Connor to then have John Connor because there's no reason for Kyle Reese to come back because John Connor doesn't exist in that future.
You're going to give yourself vertigo.
I'm just saying that's a paradox. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so bad. It sucks.
So Dark Fate cannot exist based off how I can't say time travel works because that literally doesn't exist. But you have created you're creating a paradox. You're creating something. You can't have that. You just can't. No, you're not allowed. That's not how this works. Dark Fate, no. No, bad Dark Fate. Understand stuff before you make movies. I don't know. Yes, you can put that. You can put me down as saying that. Understand stuff before you make movies. Eris Chaos.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, this stream is almost becoming depressing because you just when you start talking about it, you don't. I was fine and cool with this topic, and now it's just I'm just sad at this point. Holy hell!
You always switch gears to a good one, or to a happy one. Happy one, I should say.
I always said this was. We kind of did that a little bit with Indiana Jones. A
Good
little
one,
bit.
Josh.
It saved itself from but I did want to stay on subject for the most part.
I like that joke, Josh, about Scotty's from Star Trek having the best middle finger since James Doohan was missing one.
Why'd you tell everyone? I was hoping people would have no idea.
But it was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that is funny though. That's
Let him
funny,
watch. Yeah. Cool dude.
Yeah, well, that makes one of us. So I'm glad you're getting enjoyment out of our pain.
Yes, enjoying other people's misfortunes. How dare you?
Let's see. What else do we got? Oh my God, there's so many. Jesus. So there's one I mentioned before that I'm trying to remember what I said now. So we did Terminator, we did all that.
You mentioned X-Men earlier, but you've also got if you go there.
Yeah, we can go there. Take your pick. Which one did it for you?
It is. The first one did it for me because I don't like them very much. But as far as what really, see, the thing, it's tough to pin it down because they're never like huge film, blockbusters, but they always did enough. Every time you go, good God, that last one, they're not going to do that again, and they do another one until recently. I mean, X-Men 2 is an okay movie. A lot of people really think it's good if they're at the con or something. I just think Bryan Singer sucks. And yes, Last Stand, the third one's really terrible by that other idiot, Brett Ratner. So I don't really like any of them because, again, I'm a comic book purist, so I don't like any of those X-Men films.
Okay.
And they're really, and I'm not, X-Men, I was never the biggest X-Men fanatic anyway. Fantastic Four is more my favorite, but I just... Yeah, well, there's a good point by Chris Perser. X-Men, don't you mean Wolverine franchise? Yeah,
actually,
they were all Wolverine movies.
Yeah, they were all centered on him, weren't they?
Yeah. So how do you pick one that killed them all? I mean, go with the last one, I guess, because they're now the MCU
killed it.
No, it's not dead because the MCU, which I've got a lot of problems with now, is about to take over. So, don't know. Like I said, it's kind of I don't know if there's any kind of clear, definitive answers on this one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Worse than others. Yeah, I mean, I stopped going after a while, to be honest.
I never went to the theaters to see them. I only saw them on like TV and DVD and whatnot. I never saw them in theaters. I was really just into the MCU. I really wasn't. I enjoyed them. At least 1 and 2 and 3.
I don't really hate them all so much. It's just they're kind of just not, not as nowhere near in line with the better films of the MCU, which aren't all perfect. But
at least I can pick out some and be like, yes, these are good.
Yeah.
But let me see. Okay, now I'm even trying to remember. They don't remember what their franchise has in it. So how am I supposed to remember it? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, and then you have Origins. And I'm not talking about. I will not talk about that one. I'm just not going to do it.
4.
Nope.
They're like 7 or something like that now. They got Dark Phoenix was the latest one, which they ruined that saga.
Again.
They've done Days of Future Past. Okay, before that, there was the Apocalypse. They ruined that one. There's 3 right there. There's First Class.
Hold on. All right, Google.
There's Last Stand, backwards 2, 3. There's about
movies.
5 or 6. If you don't count Origins, and if you count the Wolverine ones with Wolverine in the title, is about.
All right, I gotcha. X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men: The Last Stand. Might I add that it's really awful that I'm having to look up your movies because I don't know at this point what you have. Yes, I am dealing with that.
I named them all, but
oh, bye, Chef. Have a good day, man.
Be good, Chef. Good to meet you, man. Sort of met you.
Kind of, you did in a way. If you believe hard enough.
David Owen,
Yes, I am looking it up, and I will do that because I don't know, and neither one of us. We're both big nerds. We can figure it out to save our lives. So you know what? I Googled it. So,
I think I named them all: Wolverine, the Wolverine, and Logan. To count Logan.
Oh yeah, they did the. Oh, I forgot. They did the
X-Men.
They had
too.
Logan, and then they went to they did Logan and then Dark Phoenix. They did what they kind of did in DC for some reason. I don't know why DC decided to copy Marvel in this case. But you have Joker, and then they went to Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they decided to copy that, but still not including origins. Yeah.
Joker doesn't need to be connected to anything to do with the DCU anyway.
No, and I'd rather keep it that way.
Or Batman for that matter.
Yeah, it's just so X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men: Last Stand. Yeah, now that I'm looking at this, it's coming back a little bit. Okay, so you have X-Men, which everybody knows that one. You have 2, 3 is technically the Phoenix Saga. That should have been like its own trilogy.
First time.
Yeah, and then you had Origins, which nobody wants to talk about. First Class was the introduction of the younger versions.
Right.
The Wolverine, something else nobody wants to talk about.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, Days of Future Past, which is why did they have to? Okay, the younger ones really. Why did they have to bring Jennifer Lawrence in? I really didn't appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Really, you can just pick. I would say if I had to pick one, I would pick. I think because First Class wasn't that bad. Oh, hold on a second. I double clicked. My bad. First Class might have been it. Yeah, there you go.
1, 2, 3 Origins, First Class, Wolverine 2. Wolverine 2. Days of Future Past, Logan, Dark Phoenix. Yeah, you're missing the Wolverine. No, you're calling Wolverine 2.
Yeah.
So I think you pretty much covered it there, Josh. Yeah. I think that's all of them there. So that's a lot of movies. And they're all, again, how do you define one as the killer? Because they just kept making them.
Yeah, they should have stopped after the third one. Origins you might have considered Origins being the killer.
If MCU hadn't taken it, which they're probably going to do something with them, Fox probably would have tried again.
Yeah, they
somehow they make just enough. You never hear a lot of hoopla. They come out, a few fans say, "Oh, it was all right, it was good, it was whatever," and you never hear anywhere close to the hoopla you hear in the heyday of the MCU. That you hear about an MCU film, you just wouldn't. You'd be like, "Oh, that came out, yeah." But so what? We had, like for example, a Guardians of the Galaxy movie or a Captain America movie or an Avengers film came out, that would get all the attention. The X-Men would be like under the radar-ish. So
yeah, it's just kind of like, if I had to pick one, I think I'd have to pick Origins, which is interesting because usually when I think of a franchise killer, there's really no movies after it because it just kills it. It kills it dead. But X-Men's unique, and they just kept going and going. And what's funny is it actually came back to being good. I saw Logan, and of course, because I'm a human being, Logan made me cry. That's a good movie. That's a really good movie right there.
I think you're right in picking Origins because for another reason is it really, if you think about it in a sense, Origins was the fourth film, and after that, it's almost the first First Class is almost a soft reboot, in a sense, not entirely,
First
but
Class,
it's almost a soft reboot. And they start kind of over. Remember when all those newer people and stuff? They started over in a sense.
It was a reboot.
Wolverine is something totally aside from it. So you're probably exactly right. It would be Origins, even though the Wolverine is something tangential. But yeah, because you start out really First Class kind of is sort of a restart to the whole thing. Because Last Stand was probably the most critically panned of all of them, except for Origins, because a lot of people really hated it. But Brett Ratner is a terrible director. So yeah.
It was like, and honestly, for the reboot, first of all, chill out and wait. Like the Spider-Man movies, it's like, whoa, guys, my entire life, okay, in my entire life on this planet, I've had 3 reboots of Spider-Man. 3.
Yeah.
I haven't been on this planet long enough to have 3 reboots of Spider-Man. Okay, like that.
Crazy. Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and I'm not too big on the MCU version of them or the Garfield one either. But yeah, I hear you.
Well, we can agree on the Garfield one. I go back and forth on the MCU one.
I like the kid, and I'm glad I like him enough. But when it comes to Spidey, he's more like he's Iron Spider Boy. He's not none of the nuance to Spider-Man's rich lore and history is there. It's all sacrificed on the order of quickness so that we could just put him there and let Tony Stark be his mentor and all this other kind of crap. And it's not that it's bad, it's just not really the version of Spider-Man that I care for. I really like him. So I'm torn on that as well, actually. I didn't think Homecoming was that good. I really didn't like Far From Home much at all. But I kind of liked him in Infinity War and in Civil War. It's kind of, I'm really all over the place with it. But it's not really the Spider-Man I ever loved. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
The Spider-Man TV show with Nicholas Hammond, who I've had on my show, by the way. Great guy.
Oh, wow, really?
During the Spider-Man 50th anniversary in 2012. But yes, love that show.
Yeah. Honestly, if X-Men, I think, needs to be, I don't think X-Men, I think, did a really good animated series, and
yes,
they should have kept it as a series, a TV series. I think there's too many characters for there to be movies. I don't know if you can do it. I don't know. I don't know if you can do movies on the X-Men, given how many characters there are. It's like if you did Justice League and all the Justice League, like the whole thing, not just the founders, all of them, the whole thing, which is like a lot. There's a lot of characters in the Justice League if we're talking about everyone.
Yeah, depending on the iteration, yes.
Specifically, what I think of is Justice League Unlimited.
That animated series by Bruce Timm.
That you want to know wonderful. How I became a nerd?
That's it.
Unlimited and the original. Yeah, those two.
First seasons were great, but Unlimited also, man, because that was, like you said, there was a zillion.
Yeah, and they did it justice. And yes, that is a
great show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like they actually. Yeah. Sorry. We're just gushing over something actually good now. Oh, they had all of it, and yes, even though Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time, I'm gonna tell you something. Kevin Conroy is my Batman.
Kevin Conroy is the Batman.
That's my Batman. That is my Batman right there.
I'm glad I got to meet him. He is
really
a great guy. Really cool.
That's so cool.
Batman animated series for me as a Batman freak, and I'm a comic book freak. Adam West, when I was less than 2 years old, the original TV series came on, and that's what started my geekdom, and it is Adam West of my love. But Kevin Conroy, as far as Dark Knight Detective Batman, the animated series, in my opinion, is the best iteration of Batman ever, and I'm including comic books in that. Although, although the great Denny O'Neil, who put Batman back on the Dark Knight path in the '60s, one of the greats of all time, did pass away yesterday, and then of course,
Yeah,
another legend passed. And
I heard about that.
that, yes, but yeah, Kevin Conroy, man, it's just now.
Perfect.
Believe it or not, I do also love Dietrich Bader, who did among the wonderful Batman: The Brave and the Bold series, which I love.
Was that
But
good? I heard
I
mixed
love.
things about it.
Well,
I couldn't get over the art
I love
style.
it.
I hated it.
It's funny you mentioned your favorite movie of all time, Dark Knight. When that was being planned, this is when there were saner heads at Warner, and they said, "Look, this movie's dark. This movie's for
hmm
adults and older teens.
hmm
We don't have anything for the kids." And Batman, let's face it, superheroes are kids' characters. No matter what you do, you can make your adult movie if you want. They're still children's characters.
Right.
So they said, we don't have a cartoon. We can't make a cartoon out of that movie. So they did it. And this cartoon is. I grew up watching the campy TV series, reading the comics, and reading the darker stuff too. This one is a hybrid of Silver Age and Bronze Age comics, and it's Batman teaming up with heroes. I love the art personally, but Dietrich Bader's brilliant on there, and it's a throwback to old Silver Age comics that are of a lighter in tone, crazy tone and stuff. But I love it almost as much as I probably even love it even more than I love animated series because I'm stupid and old and silly that way. But the animated series, as far as The Dark Knight Detective, which is what Batman is supposed to be, God. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get up on that tangent there. I love Conroy.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, that was awesome. No. It's not that I don't mind tangents. That's not what I meant earlier. It was just like I have to redirect myself back because I can talk about anything for hours. So if I don't redirect myself back, then
Understood,
yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, that
it's-
Justice League cartoon though was wonderful. Yeah,
Mhm.
God almighty.
Good Lord. That's and so when I think of what X-Men should have been, and X-Men already had a good series, a good animated series. And they should, like I said, they just do it again with classic art styles. Don't do what people. I don't
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
you know what my favorite Batman movie on the big screen is ever? It was called Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Did you ever see that?
No, I've seen. I thought I saw all of them.
It was the animated series, but it was a movie. They made a movie that played in theaters in 1994. I believe it was 94. If you could ever find it, so it's an offshoot of the series,
No.
but it was a theatrical film, which was wonderful, brilliant. I mean, to me, it's my favorite. I know I'm cheating because it's animated.
They count.
But yeah, I love it the best. If you ever get a chance to see Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, it's brilliant. As agreed. There you go, Josh. Agreed. So yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's like X-Men. I was just thinking about it. It's like Massive Phantasm. Definitely gonna watch that. I'll put that on my list. The ever growing list of things I need to watch.
Yes.
Anyway,
X-Men, yes, and of course, when you mentioned the animated show of that, one of the greatest opening themes to any animated series ever, the X-Men animated series.
Oh, that yeah.
No, sorry, but yes,
not too much of that. We'll get copyrighted.
Yes, you can't even hum things according to Doomcock. No, I won't even hum that.
Oh yeah, no, he is. I'll give him that. He is right about that.
Oh yeah, talented.
UMG. They're not. Anybody who little. I will do this. This is very serious. UMG is they don't mess around. So if you're thinking about coming on the YouTube and doing stuff, and even talking about, you might be very careful if you want to do intros with copyrighted music. They UMG doesn't mess around. Literally, like anything. The copyrights are from YouTube. It's messed up.
Like just a little of it, you can't do it, right? I mean, like if you like the
fair use is kind of dead.
I got you. Good to know.
They don't. It kind of is, unfortunately, when it comes to music. I have been watching YouTube, and I have been on the site forever. And I don't mean like as a creator. I mean like I have been watching this, and this is throwback. I've been watching YouTube since PewDiePie was playing Amnesia. That's how long I've been on here. Okay, I've been on here for years.
Wow.
All right. I have, and no, not under this account. So do not go to my account and say, no, you've been here since 29. No, I recently made this account. Not the same thing. Very, very, very careful, because UMG does not mess around. They won't, and I'm not. That's not a joke. I'm very, very serious. UMG does not care if you use copyrighted music. You will get copyright claimed. They don't care if it's transformative. They really don't. And UMG is basically any copyrighted music. So just go to your YouTube audio library and use something from there, because it is not something to mess around if you want to make a living off this site. So, yep, there you go. And Sony, of course, too, because disobedient canine. Anyway, tangent, but that was a serious thing that I needed to bring up.
Nope, you got to do it. I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yep. So apparently everyone in the chat has agreed that this movie is awesome. So and y'all are people of good taste because you're watching me. So I will take y'all's advice and I will watch it.
I went to the theater twice and it only played like a week and a half where I was, because it didn't have a long release, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But good thing is it came out on VHS right after that, of course. And I think now it's on Blu-ray and DVD and all that stuff, and you might be able to find it elsewhere. So, yeah.
I'm going to go for it.
Indeed, Kronos, your angel of death awaits. Love that movie.
I like that line. I don't know where that's from.
Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, okay. I should have put 2 and 2 together. I did not. You gave me 2 and 2. You gave me 2 plus 2, and I told you cucumber. So, anyway, moving on.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Oh, I just came to my mind. You know what we could talk about?
Go for it.
The Matrix movies.
Oh my goodness! There you go.
I forgot about. Yeah, it's funny.
Yes, it's sort of a franchise.
It's a trilogy.
3
technically speaking, yeah. It franchise is kind of broad, right?
Be an easy one for us to knock out of the park, really. Probably.
Yeah, 2.
Do you think 2 did it for you? Right? 2 killed it.
Yeah. Because it did bad. 3 or 2. 2 or 3. Either one of those are an acceptable answer. Quite frankly.
I hate 3 way more. 2.
Yeah. No, me too. Yeah.
For me, this 2 is one of these things. I mean, look, it's like that really great eye candy. It's like that really, I don't know, that really food that you really love, and you eat it for a few minutes, and then you eat too much, and it gives you a bad stomachache or whatever. You're like, God, why the hell did I eat that? Because there's some really wonderful things to watch in there, some great effects and stuff. But there's nothing at the center of it but a bunch of claptrap and silly dialogue that just, you can tell these guys that we don't know what we're doing here. We're just making this because we have to make this movie. Because it made, everyone wanted another one. Just me, though.
I think that sums it up right there, actually. What you said, and yep. What Chris said. It should have been standalone. There are some movies, really and truly, there are some movies out there that really need to be standalone. And The Matrix is definitely one of them. Because I think everyone could agree that 1 was damn good. Really good. Really interesting. Really fascinating.
Agreed.
2 was, like, it expanded the world. We got some more world building, Like, okay, all right. And, 3 was just kind of like,
man,
why did you do that?
Staying awake. I had trouble staying awake in 3. I got to be honest with you. I don't fall asleep in movies that often, and I'm like, really? What? This is over? It's over? What?
Yeah.
No, man. Oh man. I don't think 2 is necessarily bad. I think 3 is bad.
Oh, no, 3 is bad. Yeah. That's why I said 2 or 3 are correct answers.
Yeah.
It should have been standalone, but 2 for me.
Money, but I hear you. I don't blame you.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter if a movie makes a lot of money. That doesn't make it good. I mean,
Oh.
think about the Transformer movies.
No, I was just speaking in terms of franchise killers as far as
Oh, like financially killer. Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. I understand
If
that.
we had
Okay.
been
Fair enough.
huge, then maybe there would have been 4. Now they're talking 4. Please God, don't do 4. Just why don't?
Okay. Things
Uh,
that don't need to happen.
yes.
Matrix 4. The sequel to Alien Covenant. Let's see. Other things that don't need to happen. Don't give me a Halloween sequel. Okay.
Like those new ones they're doing, you mean?
The
With
new one, yeah. No,
Curtis?
stop. The first one, just stop it. Don't give me stop giving me sequels to things I don't want
Like
or most people want.
yeah, because sometimes you get one that you want and you're sorry. Like Escape from L.A. is such a disappointment for me, and I love Escape from New York, one of my favorite movies, and I wanted it bad. Now,
Mhm.
again, at least Pliskin, Snake Plissken is great in the film. I don't know if you've ever seen Escape from New York. One of my
No.
all-time favorite films. And then we get like 15 years later or whatever it is, we get Escape from L.A. and I'm like, yeah, okay, man, boy, what a disappointment.
Kapla bird, but why'd you have to enter the conversation with such a depressing thing?
Yeah, we already beat that one up though. We beat up
early in the stream we
4.
kind of beat that one to death, honestly.
Indiana Jones 5, audience nothing.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, they would really have to work hard to sell me on that one. No, okay, comply. No, you don't have to apologize for being late. It's fine. It's totally.
Be
You're
fashionable.
not hurting my feelings. It's okay. I can talk for literal hours, as I have already proved, because we are entering the 3-hour mark. So
Yeah,
it's
oh,
fine.
we are. Wow, cool.
And hello, Lori. Good evening. Oh,
Yeah,
my chat. Oh, my chat's alive again. Oh, yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Oh, nice people there. Birds of Prey 5.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's why I said Indiana Jones 5, because he's Bird of Prey 5.
Yeah.
Well, I love Star Trek 5, and I don't consider that a franchise killer, but a lot of people do. So,
Oh no, like I said,
it's for the
I love
original.
all those ones.
We didn't talk about the original Trek films.
Yeah, because I think they're fun.
Nemesis would be the franchise killer there, though, if you had to have one. But
Oh.
if you're including the next gen ones in with the TOS ones.
All right. Hold on. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
For those question.
Yes.
Oh wait, 1 second. Oh, hold on. I was joking. No, I was joking. Y'all are fine. Whoever wants to stay, whoever wants to go. Like I said, I can talk for hours. If y'all need a break from me yapping in y'all's ear, I will not be offended. It's okay. I promise. And yes, long hair is back. Yes, actually, I do. No, I'm serious. Like I have talked to people for 12 hours straight before. I do. Ooh, somebody disagrees with you.
So have I. Let's see, Insurrection is. I don't disagree with that. We're talking about franchise killer though.
Someone who killed it, not and then afterwards, because we can debate all day long if Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker is worse.
Yeah,
we won't end. That debate will not end.
I don't disagree. Any erection's terrible, as I call it. Sorry. To be true. Sorry, it's a habit. Damn, I'm
apologize. That was funny.
Oh, shite.
I'm not gonna get offended. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Imagine if I got offended over the word erection. Jesus Christ.
Now, Nemesis has its faults, but I don't really hate it or anything. But it did do it in, though. I mean, it was like, it was a bomber bomb.
So we got people. I haven't seen. Those are Next Generation movies. I haven't seen Next Generation movies, so I can't say anything on this. So this one.
Well, that's for me. I think Gibberations pisses me off more from what they did to Kirk.
Oh, is that the one? That's the one.
I hate that crap. Indirect was just like a dull episode of Next Gen, and not a good one. And I like Next Gen, but it was not as that was not one of your. That'd be like a dull 2-parter. It was really lame. I just didn't think much of it. Yeah. So, but
See.
I hated Star Trek Beneath, but I know you liked it. But again,
no, I
we
didn't say
talked
I
at the
liked
beginning
it.
of we talked at the beginning of the show that the reboots, which I hate anyway, I hate them by a reboot, but we agree that Into Dumbness killed it.
Yeah, that's what we agreed on. Was 9 had enough, in my opinion, had enough good stuff that it was okay. It was kind of like, all right, now you build on that better, right? And then you decided to give me Into Darkness instead, which was rude. I didn't deserve that. I really didn't, and neither did anyone else. We didn't deserve that treatment.
Well, as much as I hate 09, like I remember, I agreed with you that it did make money. So yeah, Into Dumbness pissed a lot of people off, and that just even again, I hate Star Trek Beneath. Also, I hate all the bad reboot George Abrams filth, but I will admit that Beyond was better liked by most people, was more well reviewed, was generally considered likable. Again, I don't like. I think it's terrible, but it was the one. It was again like the first piece of crap. It was well liked by a lot of people, whereas nobody likes Into Dumbness.
Yeah, I haven't met anyone who likes that movie, actually.
Well, not many anyway. I'm sure they're out there.
I haven't met them yet, though. So, it's...
No, they could be out there somewhere.
Okay, so since I can't really speak on this because I haven't seen it, and not just haven't seen it, I haven't seen reviews on it, so I really don't know. All I know is in one of them, and like I said, spoiler, apparently Kirk dies in like the worst possible. I've seen that scene. That's the only thing I think I've seen in the new ones is Kirk's death, and I watched it. I don't know why. Why on earth did I watch that? I did it on purpose. I have no idea why. It was like when I watched that clip of Rise of Skywalker for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently, I just sometimes like to get angry. So yeah, when I watched it, I thought that was awful because then I think back to Star Trek V and how he said he was going to die alone, and he knew he was going to die because he wasn't alone. And then he actually does do that, and it was like the worst way that you could have done it, and it was awful, and it was awful. So
even
I think.
No, sorry, I'm saying even Shatner regrets it. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're good. We're good.
He regrets it, and it was just a horrible decision.
Really? Interesting.
Well, there you go. We got Bird of Prey. He likes Into Dumbness better than Beneath. So,
go for it.
One pile of dung better than another, because those aren't Star Trek. None of the Abrams bad reboot stuff is Star Trek. But the thing is, the gibberation. And if you think I'm bad about gibberations, you should listen to Doomcock sometime about it. He will not watch.
I have.
He's never even watched it, and he hates to live in what they did. I mean,
you don't need to watch it in order to hate what they did.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I can attest to that. No,
he hates First Contact too, which I don't even hate, but he hates First Contact.
First Contact. That's when. Okay.
The next one.
I might embarrass myself. That's when they first meet the Vulcans.
Yes.
Okay. Which that sounds interesting by itself. That's an interesting concept.
I actually don't think it's that bad. He is nice, hilarious. I'm getting such a kick out of hearing him go off on it.
I mean, he does like Kirk, so can't. I mean, I didn't like Kirk. Yeah, so I know that's a bit of an understatement, but yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, so I understand why he would hate that. I do. Like, I hated Spock's my favorite, and so imagine my yep.
Yeah,
yep. So
no, I got you. Yeah.
Right?
Star Trek. Here's the thing about that. Just in general philosophy, it's a TV show. Even as much as I love Wrath of Khan and Trek 3, and and as much as I love the TOS movies to a point, it should be on TV. It's still a square peg round hole when you put Star Trek on the big screen. You see, when a big screen, you get every couple of years, right? And you got to knock it out of the park. You got to pretty much, put the universe or something at jeopardy. You have to be spectacular. You have to be exciting. Whereas Real Trek, every week you could just tell a story that can be understated. You can go different types of stories. The format is for television. Star Wars ruined it. They said Star Wars is why we got Star Trek the Motion Picture. There was going to be a second TV series called Star Trek Phase 2, and then Star Wars hit big, and the biggins at the suits wanted a movie. And we got the motion picture, which I love. Actually, a lot of people don't. So I'm, if any guys hear me bitching about a movie that you love that I don't worry. I got ones I love that everyone else does, and I love motion picture.
Yeah.
I love Wrath of Khan, and I love Trek 3 and 4 and 5.
I like them all.
But
I don't hate any of them. So
yeah, I mean, but I think it should be on TV always. It should be a series, and I don't mean bad reboots shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so because you could just so much. That's why the stories can be so good. Every week, you don't have to save the universe.
Yeah.
So, just me. You never know. We're all different. Because I love Star Trek. And no, we all. I mean, we got a lot of Star Trek lovers here.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. You're fine. You're fine. You have a good point there. Yeah, there are some things are better as movies. Some things are better as TV shows. I think, I think they did a pretty good job with the TOS movies, but it's interesting how I came into knowing it is going from 2009 to watching the original TOS movies, to then finding out it was a TV show. Like, I didn't know it was a TV show. Wow. So my journey in Star Trek was pretty unique in that aspect. So it's kind of like being introduced to the movies before the show was like, I can see it as, if you do the movies well, you can do it. But what made Star Trek was the interaction of the crew.
Agreed.
And it is very difficult to get the level of development and just build up that you get with a TV show on a movie because of the time. There's a little bit of how to put this? It's like you can have a 3-part TV, or you can have a whole. Okay, you know what? Even this, you can have a whole season of an overarching plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each episode is an hour, and it's 20 episodes long. Movies are about 2.5 hours long.
Yep.
See the difference? And the interactions with the crew are so vital, because a lot of the things that Star Trek does well, like an emotional payoff, has to do with emotional ties to characters and what characters have done and actions that have led to the characters being this person, that this actually, this goes for a lot of things, but specifically with Star Trek, it's the crew. And you know what? I know we're getting sidetracked here. But
off topic Trek.
Yeah, specifically with the crew, if you don't have good chemistry with everyone on the set, and the crew, and you don't have Star Trek, and I think that's where some of the later iterations, particularly Enterprise, and from what I've heard about Enterprise, but I have seen a little bit of Discovery, so I can't speak on that front. But Discovery is a great example of not taking the time to build your characters, or even write your characters. So it doesn't feel like Star Trek because of that. Because you don't have the crew interactions.
Among other reasons.
You have all these, and there's a lot of reasons why I don't think really feel Star Trek.
Sure.
But that's a big portion. Can people name names of the characters that aren't Michael Byrne, that aren't Spock, and aren't Pike? Go ahead, name another character, and not Tully. Yes, I'm taking that one away too. Go ahead. Name another character.
I can't look
Because they didn't take time to even introduce it.
and I've watched enough to make me sick, and I don't like it. I've watched most of it, but no, you're right. There are no good characters in it at all, and they don't know how to write characters, and that's what you need to know before you make any good TV show. You got to write characters.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing, but especially, I mean, every show you need to have characters that I care about, because if I don't care about the characters, why am I watching the show about things that I don't care about?
Precisely.
There is one exception to that rule. If it is a horror movie and I hate all the characters, and I want to watch them die because they make me hate them, that is the exception. That is not the case that I'm talking to you.
Oh man, well, I put myself up for ridicule here, but I'm one of the few who's a staunch defender of Enterprise and love it. And it gets a lot of grief. A lot of people hate it. It's the redheaded stepchild of Star Trek, they used to say. And I love it, and I love the characters. I mean, the main thing is that, because some of the stories, they're better than others here and there. And there are a lot of people that really hate it in Trek fandom, which is, for me, look, that's perfectly fine. You dislike anything you want to dislike. And as much as I hate STD, I agree with Purple Lady. I kind of wanted to like Saru because I like that actor, Doug Jones. It's just not well written.
That's her favorite actor, so I can't imagine.
He's cool, yeah.
So she knows how I felt when I watched last night, because Transformers movie, because Anthony Hopkins is my favorite actor of all time. So now she knows how I feel.
Brilliant. He's brilliant.
And watching him have to do that to himself broke my heart. See, you have other people who There
we go. Team Porthos. I love it. I love Enterprise. And again, it gets beat up a lot, and there's some legit criticisms. Like, I love my boy Doomcock. He and I do not agree on Enterprise at all. But I didn't look. I went in the full skeptic, because I was, the day it was released, I'm like, first of all, a prequel? Are you insane? I was not the biggest Voyager guy at the time, especially. And it's okay, but I'm walking out the house, I go to work, going, I'll just set the recorder and watch it when I get home. And I loved Broken Bow, the pilot, and I love the characters, and it always amazes me. I can get it. Look, I love the original series better than anything, but it always amazes me that people really, not being your bag, I get, but people really hating it always really amazes me. I'm just kind of shocked by it. It's a shame, I think. It got cut short. So it's just me.
I'll be honest, I've spoken about this before, I have yet to finish TNG. I struggle watching Star Trek that doesn't involve my boys.
I understand.
Where are my boys? I'm not there. I don't want to.
Really?
Yeah. Star Trek I associate with Kirk, Spock, and Bones.
Yeah.
And even before I knew anything, I didn't even know. Okay. My introduction to it being a TV series was kind of a two-parter. It was me accidentally stumbling upon a Next Generation episode on BBC America, thinking it was Star Trek that I knew, and then changing channels when I realized it wasn't, and then learning that TOS was a thing. It was, and I know different people, and I've heard. People really prefer TNG, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. I think I'm missing one. Why am I missing one? I'm missing one.
TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, original animated series.
Maybe I felt like I was missing one, but apparently I wasn't. Everyone. No, I haven't seen anything but the original series and like half of TNG. I really do struggle. It is a barrier, a mental barrier for me to get over. That I am, and I'm planning. I promise.
No, I understand.
To watch TNG. It was, and I was kind of planning on doing it earlier this year, but
it took me a while. Look, I watched them all when they came out, TNG, because at the time, but in the first 21 years of existence for Star Trek, there was only Star Trek meant one thing. Thank you, Purple Lady. I only got one video up, but it's a big interview with Doomcock from 2019 there.
Yeah,
I
Sean,
I only for first 21 years of the existence of Star Trek, it meant one thing. You know, Kirk, Spock, McCoy. It was the original series that was it in the animated series and movies. So it took a while for me to warm up to it. I watched Next Gen a lot, and I love the animated series too. But I watched Next Gen a lot, and I was more of a critic of it than a fan. And I didn't like DS9 when I first saw it that much. It was always real Trek. We were so mean about it. We'd say real Trek and other stuff. We were not nice to Next Gen, but I liked it, but I didn't get into it. And other people did, which is cool. And I didn't get into that or Voyager. Then I got into Enterprise, and it's only relatively recently. You know how Netflix just has them all on there. Went back and a number of years ago, went back and binged Deep Space Nine and loved it. I'm a big Babylon 5 fan, which is the show that's a long story that it kind of stole. It became stolen from.
I know about that. I haven't seen either one. Yes, yeah, I know. I'm gonna get my sci-fi nerd card taken away from me.
Okay, no, but if you ever get a chance, they're great shows.
I have a lot of sci-fi to catch up on. Like I've said this, I love sci-fi and horror, but horror is my all-time favorite. So I've seen a lot more horror than sci-fi, but I'm probably gonna have to. Oh no, I did. I got past it. I just.
I tell you what, though, maybe it's modern day because I hate, as an old fogey, I hate a lot of modern stuff. I've gone back over the past couple of years and watched a lot of Next Gen, and have really enjoyed it a lot more than I used to. I really love it now, and I went and forced myself to watch all of Voyager, and I'm not big on it, but I understand a lot of people like it a lot. And if it takes place in the real, I guess because I hate the bad reboot crap so much, if it takes place in the real Trek universe, whether it's a good one or not, or a great episode or not, I still warm up to it because it's real Trek as opposed to fake garbage. Anything after 2005 is dead to me. And so maybe that helped my perspective to go back, give the other ones a shot. And I love it all now. Nothing touches the original series for me.
No,
nothing ever will. But I love I do love Deep Space Nine and Enterprise and a lot of Next Gen. So you might like it better if you go back and see some of it.
Yeah, I am planning on doing that one day. It's
there.
I need to revitalize my love for it. That's what I need to do.
You never know. You might like it, but DS9, is really good. It takes a while to get moving for some, but I like it a lot. Love the great. Again, you talk about characters; it's so important. That's a great cast of characters on Deep Space Nine. A great, brilliantly written and acted bunch of characters, backwards and forwards. Yeah.
I don't have a take on Stargate because I haven't seen it either. So anyway, moving on.
I might start watching that soon. That's one I have not watched either. So you're in company.
Oh God.
You're okay.
I just it's like people start naming stuff out, and it's just like,
how about Farscape?
Yeah, I haven't seen that, or that thing, or this,
How about Farscape? No.
No, honestly,
I had neither until just earlier this year. I turned my nose up at it for 20 years, just watched it all and really liked it a lot. I was surprised. I was in need of a new science fiction fantasy space series that I'd never seen, and there weren't many of those. And I went to Farscape, and I really loved it. I was shocked. I always thought, that's just got Muppets. Come on. And other friends said, I give it a shot. And I did, and it's really good. Is it Trek? No, but very close in a lot of ways, and a lot of fun adventure. Sort of maybe a Trek Star Wars type of a hybrid. One of my all-time favorite shows, of course, is a great British series called Blake 7, and a lot of your shows like Babylon 5, DS9, and Farscape borrow heavily from that. Blake 7 was a genius show. So there you go. Sorry, again, I'm tangent.
It's fine. Let's be honest, man. We were both going to end up just talking about Star Trek for a little bit.
It's what we do.
Yeah. It's fine. It was going to happen, and I can't think of any other franchises. And I can talk Star Trek for a little bit. That's fine.
Killer franchises. Well, again, I wasn't the biggest guy on the Godfather ones, but people will tell you Godfather 3 killed it. So, but I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen that either. So yeah. Anyway, I've seen a lot but not all of it. Yep.
I like what
Yep.
Josh says there. It's so true. Good God.
Yep.
People really gave Rick Berman a lot of crap. And he made his mistakes.
Yeah.
You could criticize anybody, and you could criticize him, but man, do I sure miss him. Good God.
No, it was like people criticize the hell out of him, out of George Lucas for the prequels,
Yeah.
and now we're like,
How do you like me now?
Please
How do you
come
like me
back.
now?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I take him back.
I think everybody would at this point.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
it's like, does he even want to? I don't even know here. What's there to come back to?
It's a tough thing, fandoms, isn't it? Being in a fandom.
It's a tough thing being in a fandom. I think it's even a tougher one creating it
You know that word.
because holy hell.
You know that word doesn't exist in the lexicon yet. Fandom. I mean, it's not even in your spell check or whatever. And I've never
Un
been.
momento. Let me pull up a document.
My phone never does it right. Do you know when I first saw that word? Fandom.
All right.
Is it a real word? It was made up. Well, all words are made
My
up. Yeah.
computer my computer has accepted that as a real word, so I am proud of it.
Excellent.
Good job.
Yeah. Back in the 70s and 80s, fandoms, obviously no internet, I ran across this book called The Fandom Directory. And I don't know if anyone was old enough to remember that. It was like a phone book. If you saw it advertised in Starlog magazine, which was how you found out about or Famous Monsters of Filmland, different things. If you sent your name and address and all you were interested in on that, it was compiled in a book, like a phone book that came out every year. And that's how you could get in touch with other fans. It's the first one I ever saw fandom. Does anyone else remember the Fandom Directory? God, am I old?
Somebody speak up. I didn't know that was a thing.
And it's I still have some of those somewhere. But yeah, you read that and go, wow, so and so is in something North Carolina or something and likes Star Trek just like I do and likes comic books. Wow.
So
I'm not alone.
Twitter before Twitter?
Well, it was sort of that.
Social media before social media, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, technically, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, there weren't many cons and comic shops and fan club meetings and things like that. But yes, it was so fans have always, that's my point to that is fans have always been wanting to get together and hang out, and talk stuff.
That is interesting.
I'm not the only one that remembers that. God, that makes me depressed.
I don't know, but apparently they weren't. I can't believe I forgot about this one.
Oh, there you go. No,
I'm getting ashamed of myself. Thank you. Thank you, Purple.
Are you picking 3 for that one?
Oh, no, I just...
2 was pretty terrible.
See, I love 2. I absolutely love 2. Okay. I'm also a sucker for Jeff Goldblum. So,
well, I like Jeff. Who doesn't like Jeff? Well, and I know a guy who hates him, actually, so what am I saying?
Bye, Josh and Rebecca. Thank you for coming.
Take it easy, Josh and Rebecca.
Yep. Praise the dawn, and be sure to drink lots of rhino milk. Yep. Yep. See, I think at one point I would have said 3. I don't think I can say that anymore.
Because it came back?
Because, yep.
It took a long time, though.
Because of Jurassic World. Although, if I had... kick yourself. Yeah, go kick yourself. Kick yourself off. There you go. Do it in the most Ewok of ways. Anyway, so... I think I would have said Jurassic Park 3.
Could be. Yeah, you're probably right though, because
I don't. Yeah, but the problem is that Fallen Kingdom is so awful.
Oh, it's bad, but you're talking about killers. It's just like Batman and Robin killed superhero movies of all kinds for almost 8 years before Batman Begins came out. Now, if Batman and Robin had been successful, there would have been Batman movies made right after it. So Batman and Robin was the killer of that one. So look at Jurassic 3. Look how long it took for another one after that.
Yeah. It's just, it's another one of those where it's like, It's like the Alien franchise. It's like Aliens 3 and Covenant both killed it, just at different times. I think Jurassic Park 3 and Fallen Kingdom killed it at different times. You know, because if you think about it, technically, those are two. They're under the same umbrella, but they're two different franchises in a way. Because, I mean, they're going by a different name too. Yeah, it's technically an offshoot of Jurassic Park, but
right, true, good. Now 3 is. You're right. I think you're absolutely right about that. It's not always about the one you like or least or the most. It's which one put it down at least for a while.
Yeah. So 3 definitely did it. 1 phenomenal. 2, well, I like it because of
it did well.
Goldblum.
There you go.
That's Goldblum is Goldblum. What you can tell me why.
How do you not like Jeff Goldblum? It's so funny. He's pretty cool.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Darth. Yep.
He's energized.
I'm probably gonna wrap it up soon though, because we're entering 3.5 hours.
I gotcha.
And I'll be honest, I should have ate English. It's hard. I definitely probably should have fueled up a little bit more before.
Same here.
Caffeine. The caffeine is wearing off. How dare it?
I was moving furniture all day before I started doing this, so I'm the same deal. I got you.
Yeah,
I love it. See, on my BTR thingy, it cuts off after 3. 2 hours stream live on that old one.
Yeah.
And then it gives you an extra hour, and after the 3, it just cuts you. It doesn't give you the choice. But as you know,
I remember that.
YouTube, boom. Which is
cool.
She's down with the sheep. Come on. You got a crush on Jeff? Come on now.
No, I don't. I just think he's like, oh my God, how to put this? He's just that Goldblum. I don't know how else to put this for y'all. He's just kind of this magical. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No.
Unique style.
I did eat. Okay. Stop being my parrots. Jesus Christ. I did eat. Okay. You know. It's different. Shut up, guys. You'd be mean to me. All right. Anyway. You know what? I'm going to go on for a little longer because y'all are telling me what to do, and I don't appreciate that. Okay, so Jurassic Park, we agree, 3 was probably it. It was just so different. And I know 2 was different, but at least it connected back in a way. And 3 technically, I guess, did connect back too, but
yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think 3 is the easy choice there.
Yeah, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom though, we can't leave that one. Like that was good Lord.
Yep.
That's a mess. Whole movie's a mess.
You saw the last one then? Because I only saw the Jurassic World, and that was enough.
I saw Fallen Kingdom.
It was
it was just.
That good, huh?
Yeah.
And they're doing another one, right? Jesus.
Okay, now she's just being rude because now she's making me hungry. So I don't.
Oh man, let's see. We got a snowball.
I got a wrench rebelling against me. So rude.
We got pancakes. Damn, I want pancakes now.
Yeah, but now it's like. You know what's even worse? It's having my window open and I can see places to eat out of it. So
really, you're in an area with eateries, are you? Oh man.
Yeah. No, I live in an area that's kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But I am missing some context here. 2 tacos and a duck.
Got me on that one.
I am not craving tacos.
Taco, there it is.
See, I'm not craving. I don't know what I'm craving.
I want some I have some jambalaya. I'm in Louisiana, so what do you expect?
I mean, that is true. That is very true.
My mom made me some. I'm so mommy boy.
No, you got free food. That was homemade by your mom. That's awesome.
It's, I usually hate leftovers, but that stuff's really good leftovers. So anyway, you ever had any jambalaya? Oh my, that's such a Louisiana thing.
Tried it. I don't think I liked it.
Might not
I'm
be your
trying to
bag.
think. Jambalaya. I don't think I like that. I tried etouffee. Didn't like that. I love
Me either.
crawfish. I love me crawfish.
You're talking to the only idiot in Louisiana that doesn't eat crawfish or shrimp or they don't like bugs. But yeah, taco duck. What the hell?
I have no idea. There was 2 tacos, a duck, and now we have taco duck in the chat.
Do they make taco?
Apparently, I have a revolution happening. My whole chat's now trying to get me food, and they're talking about taco truck. Stop it.
Do they make duck tacos?
That's a great question. I actually have no idea. I'm
Hey,
sure
Mike.
someone does. You know,
Yeah.
someone does, and you know that like that you know. Bye, bird of prey. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Kapla, bird of prey 5.
Kapla.
I can speak some Klingon. I just don't know what I'm saying.
I cannot speak. I tried to teach myself Vulcan when I was in high school. It's very difficult when you don't know how to pronounce things because you just sound like you're speaking nonsense.
Which is why we don't know Spock's other name because we could never pronounce it according to him.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting by itself too. I like my characters to have a little bit of mystery. I never really want. Going off on tangent again, but whatever. I like having some mystery to a character, but don't be so. Don't give me nothing. Give me something, but don't give me everything. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. It's why prequels are usually kind of aggravating for some people because they don't want to know too much of a backstory. Backstory, especially when it's retroactive. So it doesn't. It's never. And not that it's always bad, but there are times,
That might be a whole. You know what? I should do a whole stream on that.
Backstory, yeah.
Unnecessary There's a few.
Right.
There's a few subjects like that. That'll be another one. So a few subjects that I really want to talk about is I'm just gonna click off of my comments on here. So I'll keep talking about food. Rude. Oh my God. Later, look at this. Now I'm being guilt tripped.
Wow.
My chat's leading a revolt. Oh my God, so mean. Now I'm making me lose my train of thought.
Something about backstories, I believe you were thinking.
What was I talking about?
Backstories?
Oh yeah, so backstories is a thing, like unnecessary backstory that we just don't need. There's several that you can do for that one. There's another one. You know what? I have them written down, and it's like over there somewhere, but I can't be bothered to get up and go get it. So I'm just gonna put that on my list of topics.
Put it on the list of topics.
Like I said, I want to keep the Saturday ones a little bit more general because I want them to be longer. Obviously, I want them to be longer. Like my Wednesday ones, I want to be like about an hour and a half.
Sure.
But obviously, these streams, I'm going longer because I can.
Yes, and they're fun. So
yeah.
So much to talk about, Well, I mean, we'll never cover it all. Geek it around,
Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot, honestly. And
like a certain very popular fandom is a YouTuber named Gary. I used to own a comic book shop. I love Gary. I used to own a comic book shop.
Yeah.
People tease him about mentioning that he owned a comic shop. Well, I did too, way before he did. And one of my favorite things ever is hanging around the comic shop, whether it was mine or the other ones I've worked in or just whether I visited. And you just love, you go there to get your new comics and you're not sitting there talking for 3 hours about always geek related stuff. Well, not always just comics. Yes, comics, but Star Trek, Star Wars, what have you. And it's my favorite thing to do is talking. That's why I've been doing it for so long. So, love it.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be in charge of a comic book shop, I would assume that you know your stuff about comic books because,
I like
that's its own industry. You know what I mean?
Bit of a comic book historian.
One day, I can tell.
I've always wanted to do the, how the whole Marvel DC thing, which I always think is kind of silly, like the Star Trek, Star Wars versus thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But people do ask that, like, "Oh, you like comics? Huh? Sure. Are you Marvel or are you DC?" That's a whole new can of worms. I'm saying, but that's a topic that I've always wanted to do, and it was kind of tough to find someone to do the counterpoint on. Because I guess maybe I'm bi because I love them both. It's weird.
Oh, I'm sorry. That took me. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Nope. Yeah, right.
Yeah, by
I've
comic,
never heard it put that way, but yes, I guess that is a way to put
by comics, I guess.
by comics.
But it's never. Yeah, well, but there are people who, like you said, you're a DC, and there are people who do prefer one of the company to the other.
Like DC, I
Yeah,
like the MCU. This is where it gets crazy. I like Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who.
me too. I love Doctor Who freak. Yeah.
Before I got into Doctor Who, there was a girl that I went to college with. She and I, she was big Doctor Who, like huge Doctor Who fan, and I was basically coming like right off of my Star Trek high that I got on, like just watching it repeatedly, having just started, getting into it. And she and I would argue back and forth, which was better. And it was like, and then I ended up getting into it, and it was like,
Yeah.
damn it.
There's room in your heart for many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get that if you're just not into one but you're into another, but there never should be a versus thing. Like if you like Star Wars but you don't like Star Trek, that's cool. If you like the other way around, or if you like both, it's cool too. I love Star Wars, but Star Trek means way more to me. But I do love, look, Empire Strikes Back's my all-time favorite movie, so I love them both. But love comics.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I interrupted you.
No problem at all. I hung out. Much money at local comic stores. You hired me to help there, yeah. Yeah, paid in beer and books. Yeah, oh yeah. I paid in comics before.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's great. I love comic shops. I'm so sad to see what's happening to them, but yeah. But again, when it comes to those characters, see, my gateway drug to geekness was those characters, but it was on TV first. When you're a toddler, you're not going to the store buying comic books. But you're seeing Batman on TV, you're seeing Superman and the Super Friends and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and all these characters in cartoons and stuff. So I didn't know what a Marvel or a DC was. I just knew I liked Batman and Captain America and Superman and Spider-Man and FF, and so I didn't know what a comic was till I was well into those characters. So then you go to school and like, so you like Marvel or DC better? I like superheroes, So, but I get it. It is tribal in a strange way sometimes.
I think it used to be. I don't think it's that way anymore, because I think everyone's kind of bonded over the destruction, the Great Trinity, Because those were like the big three, right? Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek.
Yes.
And they've all been destroyed.
Indeed. Sadly.
And I think we all kind of bonded over it because it all happened at the same time. But in like the last 5 years, all three of those have been destroyed. And so in the last 5 years, I know it doesn't, that sounds like a long time. It's really not when you're looking at like multiple decades old franchises. It's like 5 years is all it took to destroy the big three. And I think we all bonded over it, and it just, as sad as it was like that ended that war completely.
That happened to me for comics back in the 80s and 90s, really, so I was kind of prepared for it, even though I went back sometimes to the aughts. Comics have been ruined for me for a very, very long time, so I was going, but at least for a while, like you said, I was going, at least I get Doctor Who now, and I have Star Trek, and I have, no, I don't. Oh, I have I don't have Star Wars either. To lose them all, because I love comics. I love the art form of comics, mostly Silver and Bronze Age, and I love Star Trek, Doctor Who, Star Wars, and other. You got to tell me I got to lose those two?
They're all gone, man.
Stings. I hate it. Yeah. Hate it.
Yeah. But, and Darth Haster's right. It's kind of funny though, isn't it? None of us, I don't think, would have met each other had they not been destroyed.
Yes, true enough. Sadly, bad
Weird.
things bring people together sometimes, like-minded people.
Mhm.
Um,
I've had back in college, my best friend. He like a brother to me. He he and I became friends because we hated this one professor so much. A lot of my friends in college, it came from that one class where we hated what was happening. I was
oh
just
yeah,
like it hatred, mutual hatred over something has a tendency to bond people together.
yes,
That can
true
be
enough.
good and bad. Um, but I have that one college class. Like, had I not taken it and had that awful professor, I wouldn't have had all those people, all those friends in college because of that. And one I still talk to this day.
Yeah,
So it's weird how that
mhm.
happens.
It's how people bond sometimes when you're a common enemy, as they
Yeah,
say. Yeah. Yes, indeed. It's so sad.
I don't know if I'd call her an enemy. I think she
Oh well,
got just annoying. It's like really bad at her
a
job.
common cause. A common cause will do it too. Yes.
Yeah, I know you're being metaphorical. It's just
Yes,
like,
but no, common
yeah,
cause, common enemy. Yeah,
hmm
absolutely. So, yeah.
yeah,
And just things in common in general always drag people together as well. Again, all
mhm,
my greatest friends I've ever had, and I've had many. Um, some I still hang out for, been known for 35 years and almost 40 years. It's all been at comic shops, geek related type events or cons and different things like that. Almost all of them. There's been geek
mhm,
related stuff, usually comic shops. Just me, we're all different, but
right.
that's me. So yeah, it's silly, but so you never stop being, when you got that. I'm the first one in my family to have the geek gene. I pass it on to both of my kids, and they're big time geeks. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if you're the first in your family to have it.
No, I'm a
There are a
third
lot of people.
generation Trekkie, so no.
Okay, great,
hmm My grandparents watched it live, so
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
as it was coming out. Yep.
no, that's great.
hmm
It's just you pass that geek gene on, and there's just nothing like it. A
hmm
lot of drawbacks too, maybe, but it's wonderful being a geek, and they're the best people.
Yeah,
Some could say they could be the
exactly.
worst people too, but
Nah.
it depends. Nah, we're the best, us geeks.
And I think on that note, I
Yeah,
think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end the stream. Thank you everyone who came and stuck around, and even if you just passed by for two
yeah.
seconds, thank you. Uh,
I
uh sorry, go
I
ahead.
thank you because I've had a marvelous, wonderful. Let me be fair. Let me be equal time. I've had a marvelous and DCous time. Now I've had a wonderful time also, just hanging out. It has been great. You are magnificent, and the chat and all those people have been great, great people.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got to. Can you call it meeting them? Sort of virtually meeting them. So great, I got to meet.
in a way, yeah.
They're all fantastic. Purple
Yeah.
Lady is awesome, and so is Lori, and so is Kronos, who's been here the whole time, and
hmm
RR, and Loki, and all those. Loki, of course, has a great show. He's a cool dude as well. I love his show.
hmm
So thank you.
Thank you, really and truly. Thank you for coming on. You gave me kind of the first taste of live streaming, and you were one of the key people to get me to this point. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. When I finally get off
Mhm.
the ground, you were going to have to come on my show now. You
Oh,
take no, won't take no for an answer.
definitely. Oh, definitely. No, I will definitely be there. And
Thank-
Purple, can we get his link thrown in the chat again, please and thank you. Uh, if y'all have it, please go. Subscribe to him, and well, actually, watch his interview, his content first, and then if you
Yeah.
like it, subscribe to it.
I just a heads up. Other than one other test video, the only video up there of any merit is it's even though it's nothing to watch, it's a blank screen, but it's my
hmm
BTR podcast interview from January 2019 with the great Lord Doomcock, which is a really fun
hmm
interview. I haven't got anything else up on the channel yet, but I'm going to be launching live soon and putting some stuff up there. So if you go there and say, hey, "There's nothing here," yeah, there's nothing yet. We're working on it though.
And yes, Kronos, I could, but I have riches.
Either one.
So,
Thank you so much. You're the greatest. Thank you so much.
No, it's really, truly thank you. And thank you again, Purple, for throwing that out there. Lord Six, Kronos. There's so many people. R. Darth Haster. Scroll. Jedi Bill. Oh, hey, Jedi Bill. I think I said hello. I think so. I'm pretty sure I said hello. And if I didn't, hello. And I guess now goodbye. Let's see. I know Loki was in here earlier. Spike and Madness.
Spike and Madness. Thank you.
Yes. And I am totally blanking. Definitely, without question, blanking on people.
Bird of Prey 5
me.
was here. Yeah.
Yes. Bird of Prey 5 was in here.
Star Trek
Chef,
was here. Those names, yeah.
Chef Zilla was in here. Sammy was in here for a little bit. Josh and Rebecca. My mom.
Menominee?
I blame Loki. I really blame Loki for that one because I have no idea how to pronounce the name now. His fault. Yes, now I can eat. Yes, now I can stop sending me food emojis.
I hope you have a lovely meal.
And I'm sorry, anyone else who's in here that I missed. I really am sorry. And yes, I'm just gonna stick that up there.
Hail to you all.
Thank you all so much for joining me again, and I will see y'all on Wednesday at 6 p.m. No, I don't know what my subject is. It will probably figure that sometime during the week. But
I'll be there.
I will see y'all then.
Later.
Y'all. Bye.